the entire conversation with Alexander, go to WTMJ.com and share today's show with your friends and family. You'll also find a partial transcript courtesy of eCourt reporters. For WTMJ Conversations, I'm Libby Collins.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. It's kindness, it's compassion, it's very specialized training. Their mission is to transform the culture of care, and they're doing that every single day. I've been in their places. I've seen how they love and take care of people with cognitive decline, Alzheimer's, or other related dementia symptoms. In part at Azura, they do such a great job because their staff goes through specialized training. They're going to take great care of you. Locations throughout southeast Wisconsin, Wisconsin-based, family-owned. It's Azura.
This holiday season, trade the hustle and bustle for a lakeside retreat just a short drive from the city at Lake Lawn Resort. With an award-winning spa, special events all month long, like our Taylor Swift experience, our annual Thanksgiving feast, and of course, the kickoff to our Breakfast with Santa brunch. Be sure to make time with family, friends, or that special someone. Lake Lawn Resort has everything you need to create cherished memories and relive stories of old. Book your holiday escape today at Lake Lawn Resort, where the spirit of the season comes to life and everything truly is better at the lake.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 7 o'clock, it's 30 degrees in Milwaukee. Today, mostly sunny and chilly, high of 30. Overnight tonight, mostly cloudy. Light snow begins at 6 a.m., low of 23 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Elizabeth Lintonen. The FBI is now investigating the attack on 2 West Virginia National Guard members near the White House on Wednesday as a possible act of terrorism. ABC's Jay O'Brien has more from Washington.
The brazen ambush of 2 National Guard members shot just blocks away from the White House, now deadly. President Trump announcing 20-year-old Army Specialist Sarah Beckstrom has died of her injuries.
She's just passed away.
Beckstrom's father posting on Facebook, quote, "My baby girl has passed to glory." The president saying the other wounded West Virginia Guardsman, Air Force Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf, is fighting for his life.
Andrew Wolf is 24 years old. A crash on the interstate in Saukville leaves 1 person dead and 4 injured.
Ozaukee County Sheriff's deputies responded to I-43 at State Highway 33 Wednesday afternoon, where a semi-truck traveling southbound lost control and jackknifed into the northbound lanes. 2 northbound vehicles crashed into the semi and became pinned underneath it. 1 driver died at the scene, and another is fighting life-threatening injuries. A 3rd car struck the semi and landed near the exit ramp. The 3 people in that car suffered severe but non-life-threatening injuries. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Kenosha County prosecutors have charged a 44-year-old Illinois man in a gold bar scam that stole more than $460,000 from Kenosha seniors. Investigators say Chintan Thakar was part of a scheme run by people overseas that convinced the victim to hand over gold. The DA's office asked for a $500,000 cash bond, but the court set it at $25,000, which Thakar posted. 1 suspect is still at large. Milwaukee rapper Chicken P is now facing criminal charges out of Ohio. Prosecutors in Cayuga County say Rakib Smith was indicted on several offenses. The charges consist of rape, attempted rape, abduction, and gross sexual imposition. The charges stem from an alleged incident in Cleveland last year. Smith is already serving a 6-year prison sentence in Wisconsin on a separate drug and gun convictions. He has pleaded not guilty to the new charges, and the case is moving through the Ohio court system. The Thanksgiving leftovers countdown begins. Health experts recommend eating refrigerated leftovers within 3 to 4 days. Milwaukee County Chief Health Policy Advisory Dr. Ben Weston tells Wisconsin's Midday News.
Watch for signs of spoilage. So sour or an off smell, certainly like a slimy or sticky texture, especially for that turkey. Obvious things like mold. But it's also remember that some spoiled food may not have any visible signs that it's unsafe. So if you're in doubt, it's best to not eat that food.
Thankfully for Wisconsin, 1 exception is cheese, which is safe to eat if you cut any mold away. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News time is 7:03. Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Packers won yesterday against the Lions 31-24. Their next game is December 7th against the Bears. The Bucks play the Knicks tonight at 6:30. The Admirals play the Rockford Ice Hogs tonight at 7. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. At the moment, we are looking all clear out there. I'm not seeing any major incidents nor any major delays. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, mostly sunny and chilly, high of 30. Overnight tonight, mostly cloudy. Light snow begins. Winter weather advisory starts at 6 a.m., low of 23. Tomorrow, light to moderate snow, 8 to 11 inches of accumulation. Wetter snow on the lakeside, high of 33. Sunday, snow early, then gradually tapering off. Blustery with blowing snow, cloudy, high of 32. Monday, partly sunny and cold, high of 22. Tuesday, partly cloudy, high of 24. I'm Elizabeth Linton, and Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 7:04.
We've saved our clients over $19 million in real estate commission. I say this because that's a pretty big number. But at Century 21 Benefit Realty, it's really not about being a top volume agency. Over here, it's more about you. And at 1.9% commission and no more than $19,000 commission, for the listing side of your sale, no matter what size property you're selling, you will save substantially. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers. Shop Fleet Farm's Black Friday sale and get household favorites at can't-miss prices. Like 40 pounds of KT Wild Bird food for $11.99. Or all in-store footwear for 30% off. Heavy-duty industrial storage totes are only $6.99. Get 2 bags of covered pretzels for $8. And Morton Water Softener Salt Crystals are just $4.99 a bag. Enjoy these savings now and find even more Black Friday deals at fleetfarm.com.
And a very good morning to you. I'm Libby Collins. It is Black Friday morning. Vince and Eric taking that well-deserved long weekend off. And we'll be here with you until 10 o'clock today. And what is on everybody's mind besides what to do with all that leftover turkey? It's the weather. And joining us is TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson. Brendan, I bet you were the most popular person at the Thanksgiving table yesterday because everybody wanted you to tell them what's going to happen tomorrow. All right, we'll get to Brendan in just 1 second. I think, you know what? I think Brendan is having a turkey sandwich right now. Is that true, Brendan? Were you munching on that last piece of turkey?
You know what? I might have been. We had a lot of leftovers from the Johnson family Thanksgiving yesterday, so I might have been.
Okay. Well, we won't hold that against you. As a matter of fact, a little bit later on, we're going to give you some hints on what to do with all those leftovers. But as I said before, Brendan, you were probably the most popular person at Thanksgiving yesterday because everybody wanted you to tell them how much snow are we going to get tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah. No, I got so many questions from my own family. I had coworkers texting, emailing. Because, Libby, this is going to be a bit of a doozy for us. This is our first major snow event of the season and coming right after Thanksgiving, of course, in a high-travel time. So my answer to that all-important question, it did increase this morning, but we are calling for widespread 8 to 11-inch snowfall accumulation over a 24-hour period. I think that's also important to know. It's going to be a long-duration event.
Wait a minute. This time yesterday, I think you were saying it was going to be like 6 to 10. So it increased that much in 24 hours. Are we at risk that by this time tomorrow morning, it might even be more than that?
You know, it certainly could be. We could increase those totals a little bit between now and then. So the start time, I want to be clear, is around this time tomorrow, maybe a little bit earlier. So, you know, this time tomorrow, we could be looking at some higher totals. I think for the most part, we are banking on there's at least 6 inches of snow that's falling. That is without question. We've been gradually rising those totals. There's so many factors that go into this forecast, Libby. One is this heavier axis of snow in this area of low pressure. We're watching that closely. Right now, I'm thinking that might track just a bit farther south and west of us. We're going to keep an eye on that. That could increase our totals. The duration of this system is also a reason why the snowfall totals are so high. You will look out the window tomorrow morning, it's snowing. In the early afternoon, it's still snowing. By the time you go to bed tomorrow, it will still be snowing. So it is a long duration. You'll wake up Sunday morning, probably still some flurries out there. So this is a long duration event, and that's why the snow totals are also pretty, big, and will also continue going up maybe by, tomorrow morning.
Is that storm front that big, or is it going to just move slowly and kind of stay over us and just keep dumping more?
Yeah, so kind of a bit of both. It is a big storm system. I mean, this is, the low right now is still out over in the Rocky Mountains, so it's going to spend today exiting the Rockies, going over to the Central Plains. Center low pressure is going to be down to our south. So folks in, central Illinois, kind of where the rain-snow mix line is, and then as you venture into northern Illinois, that's where maybe some of those heavier pockets of that wet, heavy snow are going to be. And then we are in the prime, great setup for the snow zone. So we are right in the heart of it. I haven't even gotten to the lake enhancement yet, so that's a big question mark with this system as well. If you're on like the east side of Milwaukee, I mean, really within our first, tier of counties off of Lake Michigan, we may have some lake enhancement here. Now, lake temperatures are in the low to mid 40s. So it's significantly warmer than some of that air that's, a few thousand feet up above our heads. Now, that could make the snow a bit wetter, more compact. So as it falls, it kind of compacts on itself, but very messy. And this is the other problem, though. Lake enhancement speeds up that rate of accumulation. So we might have half-inch to an inch per hour accumulation during the heart of this event inland. I could see that being a little bit higher lakeside with that lake enhancement. So there could be a time tomorrow, and forgive the imagery here, but I think this speaks to it. It's almost as though the sky will be puking snow on Milwaukee. It's going to be so heavy and wet, but it's coming down so fast because of that lake enhancement. I think that's the best way you can visualize. It's like the atmosphere is puking snow.
I've never heard a weatherman use that term before, but I think it's probably going to be accurate. Now, you mentioned it's going to be a little bit on the wet side. So does that mean if you have to shovel, it's going to be that heavy, wet snow, or will it be a little bit more powdery?
So overall, the system, Libby, it is all powdery, kind of light, fluffy snow. So we're talking maybe a 14 to 16 to 1 liquid to snow ratio. So for every 14, 16 inches of snow, it's 1 inch of water. So that is the light, fluffy stuff. Now, with the lakefront stuff, that's where we could lower those snow ratio, liquid ratios, and that's where you get that heart attack snow, where it gets a little more wet and heavy. And so that could be a little bit more difficult to clear, especially, if that really does verify and we get that lake enhancement to kind of keep that snow going at a fast rate, and also it be, heavier, wetter, and more compact. So I would just advise, take extra caution and care while you're cleaning it up, but you got to clean it up, Libby, because after the snow system's done, we're down to 11 degrees on Monday, and then we're stuck in the 20s all next week. So this is going to harden up, and you're going to want to just get this out of the way. So if you can get out a couple times tomorrow to snow blow, to shovel, that's going to be the best piece of advice for you.
And here we are. Tomorrow's only the 29th of November. How unusual is it to have this kind of snow this early in the season?
It is very unusual to have a snow system like this early in the year. Now, we always, our average first inch of snow happens in November. I mean, that's always a given. We even see a little bit of some snow on average in October as well. But to have a system this intense, it has happened. It's very rare. And it's also, Libby, very rare to have this long of a duration snowfall event. So a 24-hour constant snowfall in southeast Wisconsin in late November, a little unusual. We'd be more looking for these events, late December, more so into January and February. So this is all part of that Arctic outbreak, that big plunge of cold air. You have a weather system moving through the center part of the country. It's got a lot of moisture with it. It's this cold. You wind up with this kind of snow.
Oh, we will not hold this against you, Brendan, but I know you're going to have a really busy 48 hours because you've got to keep your eye on this and let everybody know if it's going to be even more than that. Any chance, is there any little teeny tiny chance that it may not be as bad as you're saying?
Like I said, I think at the beginning of our chat, the floor right now is 6 inches. We are at least getting very high confidence, at least 6 inches of snow for all of southern southeast Wisconsin. And that's bad enough. I mean, that's going to, that creates problems in and of itself. But I have not seen any signs or hints that this is going to be any weaker. I only see signs that we might ramp up a little bit more on that snow total front. I also just want to clear up, there are a few maps running out there that are pretty intense. Please make sure you're distinguishing between a forecast and what a probabilistic forecast is. So there are some maps floating around social media that I am aware of. Right now, our estimate, 8 to 11 inches. That is a very middle of the ground conservative estimate of the snowfall. But, we'll keep you updated if we see some more data come in and we need to bump it up a little bit more. We'll certainly do that. But I think everybody, the best piece of advice, if you could do the travel early today or even postpone to Sunday, I think that's a great idea. But more important, turn to someone's, not something during this, and stay close to the forecast because this is going to be impactful. A lot of people are going to be trying to travel home.
Well, thank you so much. TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson. And of course, we'll have your weather reports throughout the morning, letting everybody know what to expect because it's going to be quite a bumpy Saturday as far as snow is concerned around the Wisconsin area. Thanks, Brendan.
Yep. Take care, Libby.
You too. It is 7:15 on WTMJ. I'm Libby Collins, in for Vince and Eric on this Black Friday morning. Of course, we're going to keep you updated on that forecast this morning. But it's also the day after Thanksgiving, and a little bit later on, we've got some tips for you about what to do with some leftovers. We've got a really award-winning chef who's going to share some innovative ideas. I don't know, do people still go out in the middle of the night to shop on Black Friday? Well, maybe you're out there, but we're going to have some reports throughout the morning on what shoppers are doing and is it really going to be that busy? Also, the Badgers have a big game coming up. We're going to tell you about how some people are going to be commemorating it. Also, our consumer expert is going to share some online shopping tips as well as some safety tips. We've got some events coming up, including the Gingerbread Festivals, some holiday house tours we're going to tell you about. Gina's here pushing those buttons. Liz is in the newsroom. And by the way, she is going to be sharing some of her conversation with the inimitable Carson Kressley throughout the morning. And coming up in just a couple minutes, we're going to hear from Debbie Lazaga. With that snow coming, you need a reminder on how to winter drive, and we'll tell you about it right after this on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
And free groceries.
Okay, just calm down. We'll get to that later.
Stay tuned in right here to score free groceries.
Stop, please.
Okay, I'm shutting up. My lip is zipped.
Let's get to this week's specials at Century Foods. Now through Wednesday, save on 64-ounce selected varieties Old Orchard juice, 2 for $5. 8.1 to 11.5-ounce selected varieties Bear Creek soup mix, 2 for $7. 6-ounce selected varieties Blue Diamond almonds, 2 for $6. 10.5 to 11.25-ounce selected varieties New York, Texas, or garlic toast, 2 for $5.
And now time for the big reveal. Free groceries.
That's too over the top. Forget it. I'll handle the rest. Enter to win $500 worth of free groceries on Century's Facebook or Instagram by December 31st.
7:17. It's 27 degrees. We all know Wisconsin winters pose a challenge to everyone. Boy, it's going to be quite a challenge this weekend. But from the cold weather to the treacherous driving conditions, don't worry. We all know how to drive this, right? Here's Debbie Lazaga.
Do we, though? We've all seen it, especially in the beginning of the season. Spinouts, fishtails, and spinning tires. Wisconsinites are pretty proud of being able to drive in sloppy weather, but from what I see, anecdotally at least, that is not the case.
Some of the things that probably irk me a little bit is people just being a little selfish in the wintertime and not really thinking about others or all of the various safety workers that are out there on the roads.
Road America winter driving instructor John Everett says it's hard to switch gears, especially with such a long, warm autumn.
It does take a little bit of a transition from the summer months and the fall months into the winter months, and we encourage people to be aware of that and also drive a little bit more carefully if there's different road conditions, unless it's entirely dry.
It's hard not to rely on some of the new bells and whistles on our cars.
You know, four-wheel drive and all-wheel drive, even traction control in vehicles, creates a overconfidence with drivers, and in reality, four-wheel drive is used for off-road driving, not necessarily snow and ice. It helps you get out of, sticky situations when you're off the beaten path, but it doesn't allow you any more traction when you're on the roadway. Same as with all-wheel drive vehicles, you do have a few more wheels turning, but if one wheel loses control, it actually slows the spinning of that wheel and increases the spinning of the other wheels, so you can lose control just as easily.
Just remember, four-wheel drive means just that. It doesn't necessarily mean four-wheel stop. And that's the kicker, isn't it? It's almost more important to know how to stop in this weather than to maneuver, and also recognize what to do when you lose control.
Ease off the gas. Don't slam on the brakes, because most cars have ABS brakes, and ABS brakes essentially pump the brakes quickly so that way the brakes don't lock up. Try to keep the steering wheel as straight as possible. Don't overcorrect, and hopefully the vehicle will right itself and you'll be able to get out of that skid and get into a little bit more control easily.
But even before getting behind the wheel, there are a few steps you want to take to make sure you're ready to hit the road no matter what the conditions are. The DOT's freeway operations engineer, Elizabeth Schneider, has her top 5 suggestions you can follow.
Well, before you head out on the road, just make sure your vehicle's ready, right? Your tires are properly inflated. But also, if you've been parked outside, clear the snow from your windows, even your lights, your headlights, your taillights. Know before you go, use 511. You can check 511 before you hit the road. Pack an emergency kit. Give yourself a lot of space to brake. I'd say number 5, if it's not really safe to drive, maybe prioritize your travel. Stay home if you can. Only travel when necessary if it's really hazardous.
And then speaking with Captain Bradley O'Kane with the State Patrol, well, he suggests...
Living in Wisconsin, I think everyone's aware that whenever we have snow, ice, rain this time of year, that road conditions can quickly deteriorate. When they are experiencing those kind of conditions, the first and probably the most important thing that they can do is to reduce their speed. And with that, their following distance.
Are you catching the reoccurring theme here? It comes down to staying in control. Keep your speeds down on the worst of conditions, extend your braking distance, and packing some patience whenever you get behind the wheel would be a good idea. Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
It's 7:21 and 22 degrees at WTMJ.
Hi, it's David Nason from The Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Every Saturday morning, we talk about keeping your home in top shape. One issue I hear all the time, wet basements and foundation problems.
And that's where Accurate Basement Repair comes in. I'm Chris Mancuso, and for over 20 years, we've been The Fix-It Show's trusted experts in foundation repair and waterproofing.
Don't wait until the problem gets worse. Visit AccurateBasementRepair.com.
Accurate Basement Repair.
We're not just good, we're accurate. Catch Accurate Basement Repair on The Fix-It Show and WTMJ.com.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based, Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavini here to talk about my brand new show, WTMJ Outdoors. This week, we're live from Deer Camp in Waupaca County, Wisconsin, as we celebrate the opening of gun deer season. Paul Smith, Journal Sentinel, joins us. Nate Van Zeelen, the owner of the camp, all things Wisconsin Outdoors. Join us every Saturday, 2 to 3, right here on 620 WTMJ.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
This message reaches 1 million people or more every week. Spreading the gospel is more than one voice speaking to 1 million. It is and must continue to be a million voices, each speaking to one, pointing them to our friend Jesus.
The Lutheran Hour with Dr. Michael Ziegler.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
New York may be the city of dreams, but tonight, these Bucks will have them waking up in a cold sweat.
Oh, he serves up a facial, driving inside on Keyshawn George.
Milwaukee heads to Madison Square Garden to take on the Knicks in the NBA Cup group stage. Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6 on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Your family, your memories, our priority. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Well, they've upped that forecast of snow to 8 to 11 inches beginning about this time tomorrow morning. It is 22 degrees at 7:24 on WTMJ. You know, we've been talking a lot about our trivia nights, and that's all coming up again. I think Wednesday night you can join. Who is out there this week?
Julia and John.
Julia and John this week. And if you've never been to one of our WTMJ trivia nights, you are in for such a great surprise. And I think that is going to take place
Left's Lucky Town.
At Left's Lucky Town. So you want to be there for that. But this past week, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty talked with Neil Willinson and Sarah Dunlap from the Boys and Girls Club about how these Capco get-togethers are going to be helping that organization.
Every little bit helps to make the holidays brighter for local kids. And two people who know that very well are here with us in the studio today. The president and CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Metro Milwaukee, Neil Williamson, and the associate director of development, Sarah Dunlap. Thank you both for being here today.
Great to be here.
Great to join you. I love your involvement because your experience with the toy drive is twofold. You both helped lead the Kids to Kids toy drive when you worked at Capco, and now your group is on the recipient side at Big Brothers Big Sisters of Metro Milwaukee. How have you witnessed over the years on both sides now just how much this toy drive is making a difference in our community?
I was honored to work for Jim Kazmarek and Capco as a VP of philanthropy for 13 years, and so really it was a privilege to kind of help shepherd this. I think when we started, we were collecting 8,000 or 10,000 toys, and now it's 15,000 to 20,000 toys. To see that firsthand, it was remarkable. My kids grew up with Kids to Kids, so the joy that a child gets when they buy a toy or select a toy for another child, it teaches them philanthropy at a young age, and that can't be matched. I mean, that's an important thing. So I believe so much in this project. It was really the highlight of my life at Capco. Sarah can speak to that as well, for sure.
Absolutely. I echo what Neil said. Worked there almost a dozen years myself, and where he was more on the side of the sponsors and things like that, I got to live in the side of it where we handled the toys and we worked with the volunteers and we saw the agencies that came in. And what was conceived 20 years ago now by Jim Kazmarek and Jonathan Green was simply amazing. I don't think they had any idea the impact that it would have. And to Neil's point, we saw hundreds of thousands of toys come through those doors, but just as joyfully go out and improve the lives of families all across southeastern Wisconsin when they were to the receivers and brought that spirit of giving, not only from the kids that deposited them in the schools and the businesses, everywhere, like you guys tonight with the trivia night. When they deposit those toys, those same kids would come and we would watch them grow up through the years, coming in, counting the toys, handing them out, the student leadership committee, all the people that got involved. Thousands, tens of thousands. Amazing.
You know, you speak to the evolution here, Sarah. It really did. It started as a toy drive and a great way to teach a lesson to your young ones about how it's better to give than receive during the holiday season. So you go out, set a budget, and here's $10, and how much do you want to get, right? It's a great exercise for families. And then it turned into these donation sites at schools. And I remember going to elementary schools, and there was collection sites, and then all the schools were involved in Grafton. Then the whole community is involved. Yeah. Jim doesn't do small things, so I'm not shocked that this grew to the level that it has. But to see that evolution over the past 20 years has been remarkable.
Yeah. And like Neil said, his kids grew up in it. My kids grew up in it. And they couldn't wait to get to that next level. My youngest daughter sat on the student leadership committee for Living Word Lutheran High School in Jackson. We watched all the Ozaukee County high schools grow it out into their communities. Not only were they the voice in their schools, they were the voices in their communities. And they were so bold as to step out into the businesses and get the businesses donating as well. But they also got to see and hear the stories that now Neil and I are part of on the other side of the receiving side of it. They got to hear those stories from the places they went into and said, oh, my family needed this. Thank you for doing it for someone else. Let me pay it forward. Let me be a part of that. And one thing that Jim has always instilled in this is that it is kids to kids. Kids teaching that spirit of giving. And while we as adults, we can be there and want the best for our kids to do that, but when they learn that in their own hearts and they take that with them through the years and into adulthood, it's a spirit that just inspires.
And it is 7:28 on WTMJ.
It's a Family Fish Fry Friday at the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Do not pay $16 or more. Your Mineshaft haddock fish fry is just $7.99, and it's all you can eat. I love the Mineshaft fish fry, and desserts are always buy one, get one free. They've got chocolate cake. They've got ice cream. They've got it all, and you get one free when you buy one. Get out of your kitchen. Enjoy a cold beverage at the Mineshaft's all-you-can-eat fish fry for $7.99 today. Kids menu starts at just $3.99. Wow, it's big food, big fun. It's the Mineshaft, where I love that world-class game room quietly set aside from the dining area. Your kids, your grandkids, they're going to love it. I highly recommend the Saturday all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet for under $10 from 8 till noon. Walk in today for your $7.99 all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry serving from 10:30 a.m. The Mineshaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh near EAA. Lots of seating, lots of close parking. Mineshaft Restaurant.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's Gina Della. You've heard me define what makes Pella Windows and Doors different. Let me introduce you to the woman behind the billboards, commercials, and share my extraordinary journey of resilience, reinvention, and shattering glass ceilings every Saturday morning at 6:30 on 620 WTMJ and anywhere you stream podcasts for What's the Difference with Gina Della to discuss business coaching across all industries, featuring successful executives, entrepreneurs, and mentors along the way. This is a story you won't want to miss.
Coming up in the next half hour, we're going to tell you about someplace to go for a holiday open house. Get to see all those beautiful decorations. Well, apparently somebody in Tosa was celebrating, or shall we say over-celebrating Thanksgiving yesterday. We've got Elizabeth Littenden and the WTMJ Breaking News Center at 7:31. Tell me about this little ride somebody took through Tosa.
Yeah, thanks, Libby. A man from North Carolina was arrested yesterday after driving through yards and striking a fire hydrant while intoxicated. Wauwatosa police say the 44-year-old drove through yards near 117th and Watertown Plank Road around 3 p.m., then struck a fire hydrant. This is the man's third offense for driving while intoxicated. He was also in possession of methamphetamine. The water department has repaired the fire hydrant, and the man is currently being held in the Milwaukee County Jail. A 43-year-old man is dead after a shooting on Milwaukee's south side. Police say he was found around 10 p.m. Wednesday night near 18th and Burnham and died at the scene. Investigators are still working to figure out what led up to the shooting. Suspects have not been found. And Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan had her final hearing before her federal case heads to trial. She's charged with federal obstruction and preventing ICE from arresting an undocumented man at the courthouse back in April. In court, federal judge Lynn Aldman's focused on jury selection, which will start December 11th. 34 flagged jurors will be questioned individually in the chambers for any bias, hardship, or prior knowledge. Both sides also argued how much of the April 18th audio recordings from ICE arrests the jury should hear. Dugan's trial begins on December 15th. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. At the moment, we are still seeing all clear out there. There are no major incidents and no major delays. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, mostly sunny and chilly, high of 30. Overnight tonight, mostly cloudy. Light snow begins around 6 a.m., low of 23. Tomorrow, light to moderate snow. We're getting 8 to 11 inches of accumulation. Wetter snow on the lakeside, high of 33. Sunday, snow early, then it gradually tapers off, +3 with blowing snow and cloudy, high of 32. Monday, real cold, partly sunny and high of 22. Tuesday, partly cloudy, high of 24. At the moment in Madison, it's 22. In Waukesha, it's 21. And in Milwaukee, it's 23 degrees. I'm Elizabeth Linton, and Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 7:33.
Thanks a lot, Liz. Will you stick around because you had the opportunity to talk with TV personality Carson Kressley, and we're going to share some of that conversation right after this on Wisconsin Morning News.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers. Do the holiday parties, tailgating, and family get-togethers have your liver working overtime? Let Active Liver help give your liver some relief at Amazon or Vitacost.com, CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite.
And welcome back to Wisconsin Morning News. It's a Black Friday edition. I'm Libby Collins. In for Vince and Eric. They will be back with you on Monday. Well, Liz Linton, who of course is doing the news with us this morning, had the opportunity to talk with a big TV personality, and here he is.
Hi.
Hello, Liz.
Hi, Carson. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I am good. I am really honored to be talking to you today. I am a huge fan.
Oh, my gosh. Well, likewise, and thank you, and you have excellent taste.
I would say so, too. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Of course. I'm just going to start by having you introduce yourself and just tell me a little bit about yourself for the listeners.
Sure. Well, my name is Carson Kressley, and you might recognize this ambiguous voice from shows like Queer Eye for the Straight Guy about 20 years ago. Now RuPaul's Drag Race and Barbecue Brawl on the Food Network. But what I'm really passionate about are a couple of things: fashion, design, style, and travel. And today I'm going to be talking about some stylish travel tips, I guess.
So the first question I have for you in regards to travel are, what are some travel trends you've been seeing this year? What are people up to?
Yeah, I think the biggest trend is there was a consumer survey from ALG Vacations, and they show that value is top of mind for travelers in 2026. And a lot of people are turning to travel advisors to lock in early bookings and find the perfect all-inclusive resorts to kind of stretch their budgets while keeping their vacations elevated and stylish. So I think the number one trend is people still want to travel, but they want to be budget conscious and get a great value.
I getcha. So what are some of your tips, for those of us on a budget, which includes me, what are some tips for making a budget trip feel kind of luxurious? And also, do you have a favorite place to travel when you're on a budget?
Yeah, I mean, some of my tips are, the first tip, and I kind of alluded to this before, is use a travel advisor because they can really help you get the most bang for your buck. They're the first ones that resorts and all-inclusive places even like Disney, that they're going to reach out and say, hey, we have these specials because our occupancy is a little low at this particular time. So they want to be full all the time. And the first group, they reach out to our travel advisors with perks and promotions that they can pass on to you and give you a little bit more of an elevated trip for a regular price. Another tip that I love is, booking early. A lot of people think you get the best deals last minute. In general, I found that I get the best deals when I book a trip early and in advance.
Gotcha.
And my personal tips for saving some money, I like to go on shoulder seasons. So what does that mean? That means, if the beach is really popular, June, July, and August, I might go in May or September. If people are going to, Mexico or a beach destination over the holidays, I might not go over the holidays. I might try to, take some time off just right after the holidays or right before. Those shoulder times tend to be a lot less expensive for both the airfares and also for your lodging.
Well, that is a voice you probably recognize, Carson Kressley. I mean, he's been on The Apprentice. He's been on Dancing with the Stars. Anytime you turn on any of the syndicated quiz shows, he is a guest on it, and he does very well. He's a smart guy. And Liz Linton, you had the chance to talk with him, and you're going to share more of that conversation this morning. And in an hour, what are we going to hear you talk with him about?
Yeah, so our next segment will feature a lot of Carson's travel essentials, must-haves for taking on a plane when you're heading out of town. We talk more about his favorite types of vacations and what he likes to do differently for each. And we also talk about his travel agency brand that he has been promoting, and that's very exciting.
All right, well, we will hear that. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Morning News. 7:39 is the time. We have 23 degrees. It is going to be a day to prepare because tomorrow the snow comes. Our high temperature today is going to be 30 degrees. And coming up in just a couple minutes, we've got Brenda Johnson with a weather update right here on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here. Are you looking for the perfect holiday gift? I've got you covered. Treat your loved ones or yourself at Anton Salon and Medical Spa in Delafield. Check this out. For Black Friday and Small Business Saturday, you can get a $200 gift card for just $150 and use it for rejuvenating facials like I just did with a Diamond Glow. Their machine is brand new. They just got it. Expert hair colors and cuts, or the latest nail and medical aesthetics. You can also use their Black Friday gift card for their incredible holiday sets. Anton Salon and Medical Spa is where beauty and relaxation meet, and this limited time gift card offer is the perfect way to give and even get a little luxury this holiday season. Visit antonsalon.com to explore more, and stop into Anton Salon and Spa in Delafield on Black Friday or Small Business Saturday to get a $200 gift card for just $150. That's Anton's Salon and Spa in Delafield.
Hey, it's John McGivern here. You know I love Network Health. One of the reasons is that they're local and they understand how important that is. Their exceptional customer service isn't just words on a page. It's what they do. It's what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. For today, mostly sunny and chilly, high temperatures near 30 degrees. Light snow begins late tonight, mostly cloudy with a low of around 23. We'll look for light to moderate steady snow all day Saturday. 8 to 11-inch snowfall accumulation expected. Temperatures in the low 30s. Snow showers early Sunday, then gradually tapering off. Blustery with blowing snow. Highs in the low 30s. We'll look for partly cloudy conditions and cold Monday and Tuesday with highs in the low to mid-20s. I'm meteorologist Brenda Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
It's 22 degrees at Elkhart Lake. Muskego has 21. Lake Geneva's at 20, and we have 22 degrees at WTMJ at 7:42.
It's here. Black Friday deals are live at Fox World Travel, and your next adventure is waiting. Set sail with Viking or Holland America. Fly away with Delta Vacations. Explore Europe with Insight or Globus, or unwind in luxury with Classic Vacations. From sun-soaked beaches to breathtaking rivers and historic cities, there's a trip for every dreamer. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com. These exclusive partner deals won't last long.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. It's kindness, it's compassion, it's very specialized training. Their mission is to transform the culture of care, and they're doing that every single day. I've been in their places. I've seen how they love and take care of people with cognitive decline, Alzheimer's, or other related dementia symptoms. In part at Azura, they do such a great job because their staff goes through specialized training. They're going to take great care of you. Locations throughout southeast Wisconsin, Wisconsin-based, family-owned. It's Azura.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me.
Even if you don't think about buying toys at any other time of the year, chances are around the holidays, there's a little one on your list that you want to get something special for. But you better watch out because you want to make sure those toys are safe. And joining us is our consumer expert, Michelle Reinen from DatCap, with some suggestions about shopping for toys and making sure you don't make a mistake. Michelle, what can you share with us?
Well, we want consumers who are making purchases of toys to search for two labels this holiday season. The first being an age grading label. This indicates the age range for which a toy is deemed developmentally appropriate and safe based on factors like a child's motor skills, play behaviors, and potential hazards like small parts that could cause choking. The other label is a safety verification label, and this says and confirms that a product's met safety standards set by either ASTM International or Underwriters Laboratory, often seen as UL. These toys have been tested against those standards, so you'll see the letters ASTM, F, with some numbers. The other label is, again, that UL certification, and that indicates that a toy meets federal children's product safety testing standards for flammability, toxicity, electricity, and heating elements that could be part of that playtime.
Now, what are some of the things that we need to know if we've got some of those gently used items around the house? Maybe your own kids played with it and you thought, oh, they had so much fun, let's give it to the grandkids. What should you check before you pass along something that might have a few decades on it?
Yeah, this could be passing it along within the household, or maybe you're donating it to a charity. You need to ask some questions. Does the toy have small parts, magnets, or batteries that could present a choking or swallowing hazard? Are there any sharp points or edges that could accidentally harm someone? Loose fabric on a toy that could be flammable or cause suffocation? If there are electrical and heating elements, does the cord have cracks or exposed wires? And if the toy is very nostalgic, meaning older, it might have chipping paint, and that could be a lead hazard. So we want to really examine all of these toys before they're passed forward. So again, that play experience is very safe and positive for everyone involved.
All right. So, Michelle, if you've got any questions or you want to check things out to make sure things are safe, how do we get in touch with you at the Consumer Protection Agency?
You can go to our website at datcp.wi.gov or call the hotline at 800-422-7128.
It's 7:46, 23 degrees, coming up in just a couple minutes. We're going to tell you where to go to see some beautiful holiday decorations right here on Wisconsin Morning News.
Looking for a fun and meaningful way to kick off the holiday season? Join us for the 20th anniversary of Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive, Saturday, December 13th at the Kasmeric Center in Grafton. This free, family-friendly event is a celebration of giving. Bring a new, unwrapped toy and help brighten the holidays for children and families in need across Wisconsin. To learn more or get involved, visit kidstokidstoydrive.com and join us on December 13th in Grafton.
What's on Tap with Sandy Max, keeping you updated on culture and creativity.
The Wisconsin Film Office. We can say it out loud. It's going to happen. Academy Award winner John Ridley.
So I'm glad that Wisconsin is getting in the game. I hope they stay in the game. Wisconsin is great because it has so many different looks. It has so many different places. It has places that are untouched. It has places that are incredibly modern.
What's on Tap with Sandy Max, weeknights at 6 on WTMJ.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Keep the comfort in and the weather out with beautiful new windows and doors from Siding Unlimited. For ideas, go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page. For a free estimate and honest price guarantee, go to sidingunlimited.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Well, this time of the year, we love to look at holiday decorations, and you're going to have a chance through the Wauwatosa Women's Club on Saturday, December 6th, for their holiday tour of homes. And joining us is Nancy Wilkie. And Nancy, what's going on this year?
Oh, we are so excited. We have just a wonderful assortment of 5 beautiful homes and a cookie house within walking distance in the Jennings Park neighborhood of Wauwatosa. And they represent a variety of styles of architecture and decorating styles, and it's a perfect way to get in the spirit.
What are some of the decorations that you're going to use? Are there certain themes that you're going to follow?
Well, my house is a cookie house, and I have trees up that are more traditional. They have German-style ornaments that were handed down to me by my grandma and my aunt, which I really love. So I'm pretty much the traditional style. But I know one of the homes on the tour, she is very vintage. And going through and looking at her home, I had so many wonderful memories of growing up and things that I used to have or remember. So that's really fun. I know one of the other houses is very whimsically decorated. So there'll be all different types and levels of decoration, but it's a great way to get inspired.
Now, you mentioned you've got the cookie house. Does that mean there are going to be cookies available?
There are going to be cookies available. So the cookie house, while the tour is a ticketed event, the cookie house is open to the public, and we are selling homemade cookies from some of the best bakers around, the women of the Women's Club. And along with that, there are a few other things. We have some homemade gift tags that are really lovely and handcrafted, and also beeswax candle ornaments that are really cool. So, and I'm making dog bone treats to sell. So there'll be a few other little novelties aside from the bakery, but that is open to the public.
And Nancy, where are the proceeds going?
The proceeds are going to support our 100-year-old historic clubhouse, and also we support many charities. This year we have been giving money to veterans-related events. We gave money to the new CVI that just opened the Center for Veterans Independence last summer. And so we support the food bank, and we have scholarships that we give out through the high school. So it goes to a variety of our charitable organizations that we support.
Well, it's all going on December 6th from 10 until 4. And can we get tickets at the door, Nancy?
You can get tickets at the door. They are $40 at the door, or you can buy them in advance on our website, which is www.wauwatosawomensclub.org, or you can pick them up in Wauwatosa at the Flower Lady down in the village, or at Swan Pharmacy on 92nd and North Avenue.
Nancy Wilkie, hope you have a great turnout. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.
Don't you just love the Christmas decorations? I mean, we were driving back from our Thanksgiving dinner last night, and oh my gosh, it was great to see all the lights. It seems like everybody just put them up. Well, probably they wanted to do it before the snow, because guess what? Tomorrow we're going to get hit. If you heard TMJ4 meteorologist Brenda Johnson a little bit earlier, you heard that now we're talking about somewhere between 8 and 11 inches of snow tomorrow. Now, that's all going to get underway about 6 o'clock in the morning or so. Today, by the way, sunny, chilly, 30. If you didn't get the decorations up, this will be a good time to do it. But tomorrow, it is just going to snow and snow and snow and snow for like 24 hours straight until sometime on Sunday morning. And that's when you're going to see all of that snow, somewhere between 8 and 11 inches. And as he said, by the lake, you might even get a little bit more. Then it's going to taper off gradually on Sunday, but the snow's going to blow around a lot. And we're going to get up to 32 degrees. So hold on to your hats. We've got a snowy weekend ahead. And that means if you haven't done your shopping yet, or you want to get some of that shopping done on this Black Friday, we're going to be joined by Mike Dubusky. He is at a shopping center somewhere in New Jersey. And Mike from ABC News, you are out there. Why are you not telling us the exact location?
Because I think at the time that I wrote that I didn't know, but I can now reveal exclusively on WTMJ that I am at a Target in Summers Point, New Jersey, what us Northeasterners like to call the shore points of New Jersey,
okay.
So kind of close to the Jersey Shore.
So how is Target this morning? Because there was a time, I don't know, you might be too young for this. There was a time where people actually camped out overnight, waiting for places like Target and Walmart to open with all those TV specials. Was it like that overnight tonight?
Yeah. So this Target opened at 6 a.m. this morning, and I got here just after it opened. I was actually surprised by how many people were actually in the parking lot. We talk a lot about how so much of this type of shopping goes online or has gone online in the last few years. But there were people in this parking lot. Parking lot was about a quarter full at 6 a.m. with people, kind of getting there in time for the doors to open, those doorbuster deals, trying to score the latest deals, get home before the rest of the family wakes up, that type of thing. That still exists. And I would say now a couple of hours into the shopping day, we're at about third to a half full parking lot or so. So there are still people shopping in store, and that is showing up in the data as well. And according to Capital One Shopping, in 2024, last year, Americans spent about $6 trillion in store at brick-and-mortar retail locations. About $1.3 trillion of our spending happened online. In the first 6 months of 2025, 18.3% of spending happened online, meaning that about 4/5, 80% of the spending still happens at those old-school brick-and-mortar locations, although I will say it is a far cry from the chaos of 15, 20 years ago when people would line up at 4, 3 in the morning or get into fights or all that sort of chaos that we saw back in the day.
Yeah, watching people push people out of the way to get those TVs. We're talking with ABC reporter Mike Dubusky. Mike, what did you see people leaving with? Is it still electronics? I mean, are people looking for these TVs and things like that?
Yeah, TVs are always a hot seller around this time of year, really steeply discounted. But something that I'm paying attention to, a couple items actually, is Apple devices. We normally don't see huge discounts on Apple devices, but we are this year on specifically the ancillary stuff. Normally we would not see any discounts on like an iPhone, and that is bearing true for the iPhone 17, of course, just launched a few months ago. But the AirPods Pro 3, again, just launched back in September. These things are really sophisticated. They've got really fancy noise canceling. They, you have gesture control where you can kind of nod your head or shake your head to accept or decline a call. They do a whole variety of different things, and they are at their lowest price we've seen them so far, and at the lowest price we've seen for AirPods Pro in general in a really long time. So if you're in the market for a new pair of earbuds, and especially if you're in the Apple ecosystem, that's something to keep an eye on. Another big category around this time of year is the gaming sector. Sony is knocking $100 off of every PlayStation for the next few days. That means everything from the base level digital only PS5 to the one that has the disc drive, all the way up to the PS5 Pro. You can save yourself $100. That is significant because we've been seeing the price of these consoles start to increase over the last few months and years. That also applies to the world of Xbox as well, amid sort of general tariff uncertainty, economic uncertainty on the manufacturer's part. So if you want to kind of mitigate some of that cost rise, you can shop this weekend and save yourself a couple of bucks. Unfortunately, the biggest gadget of the season, which is the Nintendo Switch 2, another gaming device, no discounts to be found there. That is at its $450 price tag. Nintendo usually doesn't like to play around with Black Friday shopping, that sort of thing, because they know they're going to sell these devices. They're really, really popular. You talk to retail experts, though, they say if you are planning on picking up a Nintendo Switch 2, you should bundle it with a game, maybe the latest Mario Kart World game, because you can save yourself a couple of bucks on the game specifically, which you're probably going to buy anyway if you bundle the console with the game itself.
Mike, what is the overall outlook for this shopping season?
So it's interesting, right? So according to the National Retail Federation, we're expecting about 187 million people will shop between sort of the late hours of yesterday, Thanksgiving, and Cyber Monday, which is of course on December 1st. That is a record, according to the National Retail Federation, the highest on record. But according to this survey from Deloitte, American consumers are going to spend less, an average of $622 when all is said and done at the end of December, the end of the holiday shopping period. That is down 4% from last year. And Deloitte found that this is a result of the rising cost of living and financial constraints. We're also seeing some interesting data on how people are approaching shopping. 60% of shoppers have already put items in their carts. This again applies to online shopping. So they've already been thinking about what to buy, but they haven't pulled the trigger yet. 38% say they only plan to actually purchase an item if it's at least half off. So people really holding out for the most steeply discounted stuff. This all culminates in something pretty interesting. People are shopping more, but they're spending less. That means it's a market that is growing, but one that is slowing.
And, of course, there's that little trick. Put it in your cart and just wait for that email saying, are you still going to get this? Because now we're going to give you X amount of a discount.
Yes, please check out.
ABC reporter Mike Dubusky, and what is on your personal list for shopping today?
I'll be honest with you, I have not ventured into the Target just yet because it is very cold here in New Jersey, as I'm sure it is where you are as well. But I got a couple of things left on the holiday shopping list for, the family and some friends. So, that will change in the next few hours, hopefully. And if not, maybe in the next few weeks.
ABC's Mike Dubusky. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Of course. Take care.
We've got a minute before 8 o'clock. Liz is in the newsroom. She's got some stories for you, including that. It was like Mr. Toad's ride around Tosa yesterday. Well, she'll tell you about it. Just wait until you hear this one. And it involved a fire hydrant. Also, coming up after the news, we're going to go locally to how shopping is. We'll talk with somebody from the Corners. That's all coming up right here on Wisconsin Morning News.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Flimsy, feeble, flaccid. That's how you can describe most pre-approval letters these days because most banks still issue pre-approval letters without actually verifying your income, employment, or down payment. That's the exact opposite of an AccuNet rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval, where we put a $2,000 guarantee behind the fact the seller can actually rely on the terms of your pre-approval and offer. With AccuNet, there's also a possibility of issuing a property-specific pre-approval with as little as a 10% down payment that includes the magic words, no appraisal required. That's right, AccuNet may be able to issue your pre-approval without needing an appraisal. That's the kind of certainty that can help a seller say yes to your offer. Sure, you can try competing with a flimsy bank pre-approval, or you can click on the blue button at AccuNet.com and get started with the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as the best in the business. That's ACCUNET.com.
Why wait for Black Friday when you can save every day? Hasseless Mattress is bringing back Black Friday Plus. We've gone rogue and activated Black Friday deals now through December 2nd on all Beautyrest World Class, and Beautyrest Black mattresses. You get the way low Hasseless price on all Beautyrest mattresses, plus a free adjustable base, plus free memory foam pillows, plus free next day delivery, plus employee-free, hassle-free showrooms. Not just on Black Friday, but every day now through December 2nd. Get a Queen Beautyrest Elm Cove A mattress. Other stores sell it for $1,650, but our Black Friday Plus price is just $794, plus free adjustable base, plus free memory foam pillows, plus free next day delivery, and a great night's sleep for way less. Bust down our door for Beautyrest Black Friday Plus through December 2nd at Hasseless Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasseless.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
New York may be the city of dreams, but tonight, these Bucks will have them waking up in a cold sweat.
Oh, he serves up a facial, driving inside on Keyshawn George.
The Bucks face off against the Knicks in the NBA Cup group stage. Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6 on the home of the Bucks, 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
At 8 o'clock, it's 24 degrees. Today, mostly sunny and chilly, high of 30. Overnight tonight, mostly cloudy with light snow beginning at 6 a.m., low of 23. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Elizabeth Lintonen. The FBI is now investigating the attack on 2 West Virginia National Guard members near the White House on Wednesday as a possible act of terrorism. ABC's Jay O'Brien has more from Washington.
The brazen ambush of 2 National Guard members shot just blocks away from the White House, now deadly. President Trump announcing 20-year-old Army Specialist Sarah Beckstrom has died of her injuries.
She's just passed away.
Beckstrom's father posting on Facebook, quote, "My baby girl has passed to glory." The president saying the other wounded West Virginia Guardsman, Air Force Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf, is fighting for his life.
Andrew Wolf is 24 years old. A man from North Carolina was arrested yesterday after driving through yards and striking a fire hydrant while intoxicated. Wauwatosa police say the 44-year-old drove through yards near 117th and Watertown Plank Road around 3 p.m., then struck a fire hydrant. This is the man's third offense for driving while intoxicated. He was also in possession of methamphetamines. The water department has repaired the fire hydrant, and the man is currently being held in the Milwaukee County Jail. 2 people are dead and 2 others are injured after an apartment fire yesterday in Kenosha. Kenosha fire crews say they were called to an apartment building on 52nd Street near 43rd Avenue around 10:30 last night. 1 person is in critical condition at a hospital and another person has minor injuries. The battalion chief says that the unit is now uninhabitable, but there was no major damage to other units in the building and no additional injuries reported. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Milwaukee rapper Chicken P is facing new criminal charges out of Ohio.
Prosecutors in Cuyahoga County say Rakib Smith was indicted on several offenses. The charges consist of rape, attempted rape, abduction, and gross sexual imposition. The charges stem from an alleged incident in Cleveland last year. Smith is already serving a 6-year prison sentence in Wisconsin on separate drug and gun convictions. He has pleaded not guilty to the new charges, and the case is moving forward through the Ohio court system. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
And the Thanksgiving leftovers countdown begins. Health experts recommend eating refrigerated leftovers within 3 to 4 days. Milwaukee County Chief Health Policy Advisory Dr. Ben Weston tells Wisconsin's Midday News.
Watch for signs of spoilage. So sour or an off smell, certainly like a slimy or sticky texture, especially for that turkey. Obvious things like mold. But it's also remember that some spoiled food may not have any visible signs that it's unsafe. So if you're in doubt, it's best to not eat that food.
Thankfully for Wisconsin, one exception is cheese, which is safe to eat if you cut any mold away. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 8:04.
Hi, this is Dave Spano, CEO of Annex Wealth Management. As we head towards the new year, I want to extend a heartfelt gratitude to our listeners and to our clients. Thank you for your trust, your partnership, and the conversations we get to have every day. From all of us at Annex, we wish you and your family a safe, joyful, and meaningful holiday season.
Investment and retirement planning, along with tax and estate strategies. Get financially organized for the new year. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
Score the top gifts for the Brewers fan in your life this holiday season. Set them up for an epic 2026 season with the all-new Brewers Holiday Bundle, featuring 4 ticket vouchers, loaded value concession credits, and an exclusive Brewers Holiday ornament, starting at just $99. Finish shopping for even the youngest Brewers fans with the 2026 Kids Crew Kit, including one-of-a-kind Brewers merch, 6 ticket vouchers, a ballpark tour, and more, all for just $35. Grab every Brewers Holiday gift today at Brewers.com.
A buck in today's world doesn't go far unless you're spending it at Griffin. Because for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. Buy one or a whole set. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand. We'll put you in new tires for just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. That's right, $1 over cost, and we'll even show you the invoice to prove it. So what's the catch? There's really no catch. You don't have to buy a car or a truck from us. We'd like it if you did, but our only requirement is we put them on for you. Buy 1, 2, or a set of 4. The $1 deal at Griffin. Available at Griffin Chrysler Jeep South 27th Street and Griffin Ford Waukesha. The $1 deal at Griffin. Make your dollar go further. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's one called That's All Sports Desk. The Packers won yesterday against the Lions 31-24. Their next game is December 7th against the Bears. The Bucks play the Knicks tonight at 6:30, and the Admirals play the Rockford Ice Hogs tonight at 7. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. At the moment, it is still all clear out there. We're seeing no major incidents and no major delays. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. We are currently in a winter weather watch. A winter storm warning is in effect for all of southeastern Wisconsin from 6 a.m. Saturday through 6 a.m. Sunday, with heavy snow expected to make travel dangerous throughout the day. Today, mostly sunny and chilly, high of 30. Overnight tonight, mostly cloudy with light snow beginning at 6 a.m., low of 23. Saturday, light to moderate snow with 8 to 11 inches of expected accumulation. Wetter snow on the lakeside, high of 33. Sunday, snow early, then gradually tapering off. Blustery and windy, cloudy, high of 32. Monday, partly sunny and cold, high of 22. Tuesday, partly cloudy, high of 24. Right now in Madison, it's 23. In Green Bay, it's 22. In Waukesha, it's 21. And in Milwaukee, it is 24 degrees. I'm Elizabeth Lintonen, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 8:07.
And welcome back to Wisconsin Morning News, a Black Friday edition. I'm Libby Collins, and for Vince and Eric. All right, I got to go back here, Liz. So yesterday in Tosa, I'm sure a lot of people were just, enjoying their Thanksgiving feast. And around 3 o'clock, that was right at the end of the Packers game. So, they were waiting to make sure we beat the Lions. When all of a sudden, somebody started driving around yards in Tosa. Now, was that front yards or backyards? Do we know?
We're not positive. We're thinking front yards because he did strike this ended, well, not ended. It did not end, but he did strike a fire hydrant. And I would imagine that if a fire hydrant's, on the sidewalk, it was probably front yards in some capacity. But yeah, Wauwatosa police received a call of a 44-year-old driving through the front yards of residents in that area. And then he struck a fire hydrant. Apparently water could be seen spewing from into the air from where the fire hydrant was.
Always an interesting sight in the middle of winter.
Yeah, for a couple hours. It took them a couple hours to get that under control. So he's from Garner, North Carolina. And
what was he doing in Tosa? Do we know?
Well, maybe he was visiting family or something would be my best guess. But no, we don't know why he was here. We're still waiting for updates on that one. I've reached out to Wauwatosa police, so we'll see if they, we'll see what they have to say.
I'd love to know what was going through his mind when he decided to drive through yards.
Probably not much. Sounds like he was pretty intoxicated.
Sounds that way. Well, I think if you're in the area of around 117th and Watertown Plank, those roads are going to be a little slippery today.
Oh, yes.
Because that water would have iced over.
Yes, it would have.
Okay, well, you keep us posted on that. I'd love to know.
I will.
I'd love to know what he was doing in town.
Any updates, I will get them to you, Libby. Don't you worry, okay?
And why are we not surprised he's from North Carolina? Okay, thank you, Liz. And Liz is going to be back with us in about 20 minutes with more of our conversation with Carson Kressley. But before we do anything else, let's go to the Corners in Brookfield. We are talking with Jordan Fisher. She's the marketing manager there. And Jordan, have stores opened at the Corners yet?
Good morning. Stores have not opened yet. They open at 9 a.m.
All right. So now what are you expecting today in terms of crowds?
So we always expect kind of a steady crowd for Black Friday just because, there's still something about people shopping in stores. We have seen a few people walking around. So there's definitely people here waiting.
Well, you've got a lot of places open for breakfast. I know that.
Yep. Exactly. So the what we see happen a lot is people will come in because the restaurant's open or the brunch spot's open at 8. So people will grab a bite to eat and then they'll get on their shopping journey. So we expect a pretty consistent crowd the whole day today.
One of the charming things about the Corners is because you've got like streets and you've got open areas and things. So it's fun to go from place to place at the Corners. But I have to ask you, Jordan, tomorrow we're expecting between 8 and 11 inches of snow. And again, this is a big shopping weekend. What are your contingency plans with all that? Because you've got a lot of parking lots to clear snow from.
Yeah, I mean, our maintenance team and facilities team is always really on top of snow removal. So they definitely have a plan in place for that to ensure that all, customers and walkways are clear. But yeah, I mean, I think with that, we could expect to see a bigger crowd today with people kind of planning ahead to do some of that shopping ahead of time. But we always are prepared for that. We do the best we can to make sure that everything is safe and clear and people can still enjoy, their shopping experience.
What are your hours this weekend?
So today we are open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Tomorrow will be 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sunday will be 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay, I want to go back to tomorrow then, because they're saying that snow is going to start about 6 in the morning, go all day until 6 o'clock the next morning. I'm not asking you to announce anything at this point, but is there a chance that maybe some of those stores might close early tomorrow?
That is totally up to the stores. We leave that up to them in terms of safety of customer or safety of employees. It's kind of all based around that. So it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell right now.
Yeah. But I know you're going to keep an eye on that. And certainly, as you said, when we're facing this kind of a snowstorm this early in the season, we're not quite sure what's going to happen.
I know. And if there is any closures, we always make updates on our website. We always make updates on our social media accounts. So definitely keep an eye on that. As we know and find out from stores, we'll definitely keep everyone updated.
Well, like you said, today is probably going to be an even busier shopping day because people are preparing for that snow tomorrow. So what are some of the favorite places where people like to go on Black Friday?
Historically, really all of the places have been pretty busy, but, we see some people outside of Kendra Scott. We have Aloe new this year, so that's a big one. Altered State, Anthropologie, Lululemon, Von Maur. Really a lot of the retailers that we have seem to have a consistent crowd. So I know when I talked to a lot of them last week, a lot of them were really excited and prepared for the big crowds and sales. It should be a fun day for everybody.
Big question, Jordan. Have you done your Christmas shopping yet?
I have not. So today's going to be a big day.
I was going to say, you're in the right place to do it.
Right, exactly.
Well, Jordan Fisher, marketing manager from The Quarters, thanks for that update. Hope you get a lot of crowds today. It's going to be a fun shopping day for Black Friday.
Thank you so much.
It is 8:14 on WTMJ. As Jordan was just saying, and we were talking about that weather, it is going to be a little bit daunting beginning tomorrow morning. Today's not so bad. Sunny, chilly, 30. I mean, great day to get out and shop. Then tonight, cloudy, but that snow's going to begin overnight, right around 6 o'clock in the morning. And as TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson told us a little while ago, that snow is going to continue. We may get as much as 8 to 11 inches of accumulation in a 24-hour period. That high temperature is going to be hovering around 32, so right at freezing. And then on Sunday, the snow finally tapers off a bit, but it's going to be blustery with blowing snow. So I think Jordan had a good idea. Get out and shop today because who knows what's going to happen in the next day or so. 8:15 is our time. Coming up in just a minute, we've got Eric Bilstead, and he's going to feature an everyday hero right here on Wisconsin Morning News.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love my dogs, Bella and Baxter, an important part of our family. They're kind of like kids sometimes, and like kids, they weren't always listening, but I've got it figured out now. Thanks to Matt and his teams at Sit Means Sit Dog Training, our dogs are better behaved. They don't bark as much. They just listen better. They're happy, confident, obedient. Our house is a better house. Sit Means Sit Dog Training turned it around for us. Let them do the same for you. You can start with a free consultation. The website is sitmeanssitwaukesha.com. Sitmeanssitwaukesha.com.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
It's 23 degrees at 8:16 on WTMJ, and it's time to recognize another everyday hero. Here's WTMJ's Eric Bilstead.
Every day, superhero, trying to save the world, but never really
An everyday hero is when Wisconsin's morning news celebrates an average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Today we head to Atlanta. Officer Malik Safi was quickly responding to an urgent call. He was in his squad alone when he lost control of the vehicle, crashed the car into a house, and then the squad caught fire. He was in really rough shape. He had busted his leg. He couldn't get out.
Pull him back.
You can hear the audio there from the officer's body cam. You can hear two residents of that area, Kashawn Robinson and his brother Ryan Beck, immediately running to help.
We pulled him out of the yard and onto the sidewalk, and everybody was just ducked behind the trees and everything.
Kashawn tells WSB TV2 in Atlanta that the officer was in rough shape and clearly was injured.
We just got to just trying to comfort him and let him know that he wasn't there by himself.
What made matters worse was that there was a firearm left in the squad. And because of the fire, that prompted the gun to go off. So these two and others are dodging bullets while they're racing to get this officer out of the area. And then there was this anonymous woman.
We have an officer down.
This lady, who is still yet to be identified, used the cops' radio to call for help.
Officer SAFI. Hello?
On North Avenue.
On North Avenue. Yeah, hurry up. He's been in a wreck. His leg is broke.
If it weren't for these hero citizens, as they're now called, he likely would not have survived. Officers doing fine now, and it's all because of these heroes.
We just went off our heart, going off our heart how we was raised, When we wouldn't want to see nobody suffer in that type of situation, so we just hopped out and sprung to action.
If you want to see some of the video, just text the word hero to the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and text line 855-616-1620. Thank you, Kashawn. Thank you, Ryan. And thank you to that anonymous woman. You are everyday heroes. Everyday Heroes, sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
What an amazing story. Thank you so much for sharing that, Eric. Eric and Vince will be back on Monday morning on Wisconsin Morning News. I'm Libby Collins. It's 8:19, 23 degrees. Yep, tomorrow, that's when the snow starts, right around 6 in the morning. They're talking 8 to 11 inches of snow. So if you need to do some things, I would do them today. I think I'd like to stay home and sit under a blanket tomorrow. All right, coming up next, there is an organization that does great things for people, not just during the holidays, but all year round. And we're going to tell you about it right after this on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You ever wonder how your house would look if it were a different color, or had a new roof, or maybe a splashy front door? Well, you can see for yourself just by going to TriCountyContractingWI.com. Add a photo of your house and design a new look. Then call them when you're ready. TriCountyContractingWI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. TriCountyContractingWI.com.
Time to get your furnace ready to work this winter. Vince Vitrano here with my HVAC guy, Ryan Sopa at Urban Heating and Cooling. Ryan, you're doing furnace tune-ups now.
Correct. We're starting to do furnace maintenance, making sure your furnace is ready for the upcoming cold weather.
You do all that for less than $100. You can save big, though, if you spend that money up front, right? Make sure this thing is good.
Correct. I mean, if we come in there and do a maintenance on your furnace, so it can help prevent major breakdowns for the next season.
Thanks, Ryan. Contact them now at urbanheatingandcooling.com. urbanheatingandcooling.com.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Enjoy the Fox and Hounds restaurant's fabulous all-you-can-eat fish fry. It's one of the best. The magnificent Sunday brunch is also all-you-can-eat. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat free. Call and reserve foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. In the city of Milwaukee, 17.5% of all people live below the federal poverty level. And of course, all of those adults and kids face food insecurity on a regular basis. This time of year, the Jewish Pantry is focused on putting holiday dinners on the table, but that's only part of the story. And joining us from the Jewish Community Pantry is Heidi Gould. And Heidi, what exactly is your mission there?
Our mission is to partner to build a healthier Milwaukee and serve Milwaukeeans with emergency food and make sure that they're able to find their next meal at our space at 29th and Center Street.
You know, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, all of the holidays, people always think about, well, let's get boxes of groceries and help people. But it's not just this time of year where people are facing that food insecurity.
Absolutely. We see that people, as you said, are thinking about hunger this time of year, but the need is really year-round. And whether it this summer, as some of the TFAP cuts started to affect our pantry, our partner food banks, or the recent SNAP freeze, residents of Milwaukee are really struggling to find food and to make sure that they can make ends meet. It isn't just the holiday season.
Yeah, with some of these federal cutbacks, what kind of increase are you seeing at the community food pantry?
Yeah, so end of October, early November, saw about a 90% increase in our service numbers. It was the busiest the Jewish Community Pantry has been in 50 years of service, and that meant we were serving 200 households on 3 hours of service on a Thursday rather than 100, and we were serving 120 households on a Tuesday. So the numbers have just been enormous, and a lot of people are just scared about what might be next.
What are you hearing from them when they visit the Jewish Community Pantry? What do they share with you about their situations?
Yeah, a lot of residents are working hard, their families with kids, with young children, or seniors on a fixed income, and they're just trying to pay their rent and pay medical bills and pay for their food bills. And really, even the ones who work, they don't make enough of a living wage to be able to pay for those bills. And so they come to us to bridge that gap, to make sure, okay, I need to make it to the end of the month. It's a lot of people with disabilities with high medical bills and costs. And again, people with multiple children and just needing to feed hungry kids is expensive. So that's what a lot of our guests are saying to us. And they're so grateful every time they walk in the door at the Jewish Community Pantry.
Do any of the guests ever say, we never thought we'd be here?
Yeah, I think that's a common thread. And then there's also people who say, I watched my mom have to take me to food pantries a couple of times, and I'm not ashamed to get the help I need for my family. And both are true, right? And both, there are people who fall on hard times, and then there are people who, you know, are trying the best they can from month to month, and it's still not enough.
We're talking with Heidi Gould. She is director of the Jewish Community Pantry. Tell us about the event you've got coming up on December 18th.
Yes, in partnership with Metcalf Park Community Bridges, we have for the past several years hosted Community Joy Day. And on the 18th, we will have our Community Joy Day. This is a time for us to celebrate residents of Metcalf Park and Amani and the neighboring pantry, our zip codes that we serve. We will have music. We'll have fixins for a Christmas meal with ham, turkey, fresh produce, desserts, and treats. And we just like to make it a festive atmosphere to make sure, again, people feel the stress of buying gifts for their family and paying for everything they need around the holidays. And we just want to make things a little bit easier.
Now, I know that you partner with other Milwaukee not-for-profits to provide additional services. What are some of the things you do?
Yeah, so again, we're really grateful for our partnership with Metcalf Park Community Bridges and those resident-led organizations that are on the ground. In addition, we partner with Hunger Task Force and Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin to make sure that our guests are accessing their SNAP and food share benefits to get food stamps. We also have Freighted and the Medical College at the food pantry every week, providing screenings and checking in on our guests and giving them referrals to the doctors that they may need. And then additionally, we have community advocates, Project Return, ACLU Milwaukee, all of these other agencies coming out to provide services so that our guests aren't having to go to multiple sites for the resources that they need.
Heidi, like we said, a lot of people say, I never thought I'd be in this situation. But if there are families or individuals who are experiencing that food emergency, how can they get accurate information about what's available?
I always recommend that residents start with calling 211. That is a resource that will give them availability of any food pantry that's open on the day that they need help. They can also go to our website, jccmilwaukee.org/pantry. Though we have zip codes that we serve specifically, we're happy to serve anyone on a first-time basis.
And are there ways that listeners can support the Jewish Community Pantry?
Yes, in this time of need and needing to buy more and purchase more food and serve more people, we are always looking for volunteers and also people to invest in and support our pantry. And you can do that also by going to jccmilwaukee.org/pantry.
Heidi Gould, thank you and all your volunteers for everything you do at the Jewish Community Pantry.
Thank you so much for having me, and happy Thanksgiving.
It's 8:27 on WTMJ. I'm Libby Collins, and for Eric and Vince, well, if you're just getting up, guess what? That snow, they've increased it. We're looking at 8 to 11 inches starting tomorrow morning about 6 a.m., going all the way until Sunday morning when it starts to taper off. So be prepared. If you've got errands to run, I think I'd do them today. It's 24 degrees right now.
There's a lot of noise coming out of Washington these days, but one thing retirees in Wisconsin can't afford to ignore is the new Big Beautiful Bill. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the truth. The changes buried in this bill could have a serious impact on your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we've dug into the details, and we want to make sure you know what's really at stake. The Big Beautiful Bill includes sweeping updates to tax brackets, Social Security thresholds, Medicare premiums, and retirement account rules. And for many retirees, it could mean higher taxes on your savings, more limits on deductions, and unexpected changes to your income plan. Maybe you're already retired, or maybe you're just a few years away. Either way, what you don't know could cost you thousands. That's why we're offering Wisconsin residents a free educational guide to help you understand how the new bill may impact retirees and questions to discuss with your trusted financial advisor. Just text the word tax to 414-897-9522. That's tax, T-A-X, to 414-897-9522. You'll get immediate access to expert insights from the team at Drake & Associates, retirement planners who have been serving Wisconsin for over 20 years. We focus on tax-efficient retirement planning, helping you keep more of your money, avoiding surprises, and staying ahead of the curve no matter what Congress throws your way. So before the Big Beautiful Bill takes a bite out of your hard-earned savings, let's make sure your plan is designed to help prepare for uncertainty. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. That's TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping build retirement confidence right here in Wisconsin.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Well, coming up in the next half hour, we're going to share some online shopping tips for you if you're not doing brick and mortar on this Black Friday. Right now, it is 8:30, and we've got Liz Linton in the Breaking News Center, the WTMJ Breaking News Center, and there is a very sad story coming out of Kenosha this morning, a fire that happened last night.
Thanks, Libby. 2 people are dead and 2 others are injured after an apartment fire in Kenosha. Kenosha fire crews were called to an apartment building on 52nd Street near 43rd Avenue around 10:30 last night. 1 person is in critical condition at a hospital and another person has minor injuries. Police have not yet released the ages of the victims. The battalion chief says that the unit is now uninhabitable, but there was no major damage to other units in the building and no other additional injuries reported. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. A man from North Carolina was arrested yesterday after driving through yards and striking a fire hydrant while intoxicated. Wauwatosa police say the 44-year-old drove through yards near 117th and Watertown Plank Road around 3 p.m., then struck a fire hydrant. This is the man's 3rd offense for driving while intoxicated. He was also in possession of methamphetamines. The water department has repaired the fire hydrant, and the man is currently being held in the Milwaukee County Jail. And Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan had her final hearing before her federal case heads to trial. She's charged with federal obstruction and preventing ICE from arresting an undocumented man at the courthouse back in April. In court, federal judge Lynn Edelman focused on jury selection, which will start on December 11th. 34 flake jurors will be questioned individually in the chambers for any bias, hardship, or prior knowledge. Both sides argued over how much of the April 18th audio recordings from ICE arrest the jury should hear. Dugan's trial begins on December 15th. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. At the moment, it is still all clear out there. We're seeing no major incidents and no major delays. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, mostly sunny and chilly, high of 30. Overnight tonight, mostly cloudy with light snow beginning around 6 a.m., low of 23. Tomorrow, light to moderate snow, 8 to 11 inches of accumulation. Wetter snow on the lakeside, high of 33. Sunday, snow early, then gradually tapering off. Blustery with blowing snow, cloudy, high of 32. Monday, partly sunny and cold, high of 22. Tuesday, partly cloudy, high of 24 degrees. Right now in Madison, it's 23. In Green Bay, it's 22. In Waukesha, it's 21. And in Milwaukee, it is 24 degrees. I'm Elizabeth Linton in Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News time is 8:32.
And Liz, can you stick around? Because I want to hear more of your conversation with Carson Kressley.
Yes, I can, Libby.
Coming up in 2 minutes on Wisconsin Morning News.
At Capri Communities, they believe people of every age deserve to enjoy life.
I recently moved my dad into a Capri community. He has gained such new independence. His falls have decreased, he's eating healthy meals, and going on great new adventures. Knowing Dad is in a great place really gives me the peace of mind I needed. And now, we're both enjoying life again.
Give the care that has your parent enjoying life again at Capri Communities. Get started today at capricommunities.com.
Shop Fleet Farm's Black Friday sale and get household favorites at can't-miss prices. Like 40 pounds of KT Wild Bird food for $11.99. Or all in-store footwear for 30% off. Heavy-duty industrial storage totes are only $6.99. Get 2 bags of covered pretzels for $8. And Morton Water Softener Salt Crystals are just $4.99 a bag. Enjoy these savings now and find even more Black Friday deals at fleetfarm.com.
Hey, it's your friend John McGivern. In a world full of chaos, I'm grateful for a health plan that has my back. Network Health is so reliable and trustworthy, they always put me and over 126,000 members first. It's just what they do and what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
Hey, WTMJ's John Merck here. I've got a great idea for you. It's Experience Wisconsin. As we head deeper into the year and the fall is still hanging on and the winter's not far away, how about planning a trip somewhere cool right in our state? On Experience Wisconsin, we introduce you to different people, places, things that are happening throughout our counties. On this week's show, super excited, it's Kenosha, Meredith Jamisko with us, it's Elkhorn, it's Kate Abbey, it's a conversation with Ann Sayers, it's Experience Wisconsin Saturdays on WTMJ.
And welcome back to Wisconsin Morning News. I'm in for Eric and Vince. Libby Collins here, along with Liz Linton from the WTMJ Breaking News Center. And Liz, you had the opportunity to talk with TV personality Carson Kressley. And what else did you ask him about?
Yeah, so our focus for the first half of the interview was travel, which was awesome and so exciting. He's got so many incredible tips or whatever. So in this next segment, we start by talking about his favorite types of vacation.
I love a little beach escape. I live in New York, and I know you're up there in Milwaukee, and anytime it gets cold for a long period of time, I think an escape to a sunny beach is really a really nice treat. But I also, I love a city trip, too. I love a drive into Chicago or, a staycation in New York. I can find fun things to do almost any time of the year.
That's the best kind of person, someone who can do anytime, anywhere,
Yeah, exactly. Just, bringing the fun is the most important.
Bringing the fun. I love that. What are some of your travel essentials, things you don't travel without?
Yeah, I mean, this sounds like a luxury, but to me it's an essential. I always have a Ralph Lauren cashmere sweater in my bag, even in the summer, because sometimes the airplane is like 48 degrees, like they're chilling, meat in there. I'm just like, guys, can we not make it 48 degrees? So I have that sweater because when it's chilly, I wear it, and when it's not chilly, I use it as a pillow. I try to have a great carry-on. Because 9 out of 10 times I'm not checking a bag. If it's a trip that's like 4 days or less, I really try to not check luggage. That saves on baggage fees, but it also saves on hassles and headaches if, in fact, your bag is misplaced by the airlines. And then other things that I do, I always bring like a little like battery-operated candle with me. It gives my room a little bit ambiance and makes it feel like home. I always have a book in my bag, lots of chargers. Right now I'm reading a book about my favorite character on Southern Charm, Pat Altschul. I'm reading a book by a DJ, Ronson, about nightlife in the 90s in New York.
Ooh, cool.
And then I'm also reading a book about Keith Haring. So I always have about 3 books in my bag, and I just kind of bounce from one to the other.
Oh, that's fabulous.
To keep it interesting.
Yeah, that's a good call. And then we're talking all-inclusive resorts here. Do you have a favorite all-inclusive, and what are some of your tips for staying at one?
Yeah, I think that's actually another trend for travel in 2026 is the all-inclusive. People love them because, again, you know exactly what you're going to spend because your meals and your drinks are included. A lot of the activities are included. You're not going to get any of those surprise, resort fees or extra room and tax. Like what you're quoted in the beginning is what you're going to pay in the end. And that is really helpful. You can kind of let loose and just not worry about what you're spending. So people love that. Hyatt has an all-inclusive collection with a variety of different options for sexier ones for couples and family-friendly ones for the kids. So I kind of like that brand right now. I'm at an all-inclusive right now called Dreams. It's Playa Esmeralda, and it's in Miches, the Dominican Republic.
Oh, sounds warm.
And it is so gorgeous. It is warm and sunny and has the turquoise water. And it's in a very kind of underdeveloped area, but in the best possible way. So it feels very like an adventure and very unspoiled and very natural.
I love that. All right, where can people go to find out more?
All of my travel tips on packing and destinations and how to get the best value, they're all on a website called TravelAdvisorsGetYouThere.com. And you're welcome.
And it's 8:39, but that's not all that you talked with Carson Kressley about, Liz. I mean, he's quite the celebrity, and he's worked with a lot of celebrities, and you ask him about that.
He sure has, and I would be remiss if I did not ask Carson Kressley about his incredibly long and storied career. And so the next segment features a lot of talk about celebrity gossip. I asked him about a couple shows he's currently. I asked him about actually the show he started his career with, which was Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. I also asked him about one of his most current projects, which is being a judge on RuPaul's Drag Race. And then we also talk about Beat Bobby Flay, and there's some fun celebrity gossip in there. So it's very exciting.
Don't tell us. You'll have to listen because you'll be back in an hour. We'll be back in an hour with that, Liz Litton. Thank you so much. I'll let you get back to the newsroom. It is 8:40. We're at 23 degrees on WTMJ. And in case you haven't heard, yep, there's a lot of snow coming. And coming up in just a couple minutes, we've got TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson with that full forecast for you. But before we do anything else, we're going to tell you about some online shopping tips straight ahead on WTMJ.
With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
A buck in today's world doesn't go far unless you're spending it at Griffin. Because for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. Buy one or a whole set. This is Jim Griffin, any major brand. We'll put you in new tires for just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. That's right, $1 over cost, and we'll even show you the invoice to prove it. So what's the catch? There's really no catch. You don't have to buy a car or a truck from us. We'd like it if you did, but our only requirement is we put them on for you. Buy 1, 2, or a set of 4. The $1 deal at Griffin. Available at Griffin Chrysler Jeep South, 27th Street, and Griffin Ford Waukesha. The $1 deal at Griffin. Make your dollar go further. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Box elders, Asian lady beetles, stink bugs, spiders, centipedes. Vince Vitrano for local pest defender, the Bug Man, and Queen Bee. You've still got time for a treatment to get rid of these creepy crawlies before your holiday guests see them. Even worse, critters. Ugh. Bug Man and Queen Bee do the full rodent inspection. Find where they might be getting in and stop them. And if it's mice, moles, rats already inside, Adam and his team can get them out. Local, family, veteran-owned and operated. 20% off your first service when you tell them Vinny sent you. Bugman, QueenBee.com.
Well, of course you're going to be shopping online this year. Doesn't everybody? But you better watch out before you start clicking that button. Joining us is our consumer expert, Michelle Reinen from DATCAP. And what do we need to know about online shopping this year, Michelle?
Well, we want to be sure everyone is safe, and we know that scammers create fake websites that are sophisticated and convincing copies of real sales platforms that consumers trust, and they use them every day. And scammers try to lure us consumers into these sites with fraudulent ads, text messages, and emails, which invite us to click a link. So we want everyone to stop and ask a question. Is this website safe before they proceed?
You know, it's interesting because they make it look so attractive. You get those ads on Facebook with these beautiful clothes, and you're all set to go ahead and buy it. And then if you bother to look up some of the reviews, you find out these businesses, if they are real, have a lot of problems fulfilling orders.
Absolutely. I mean, they may lure you in with this big holiday sale, or they ask you to believe in something that's just too good to be true, that deep discounted price that they're going to have. And so we need to take our time to really consider something before we proceed and take a look at the site. You know, what's the return policy? Is it reasonable or is it non-existent? Because that's going to help us really trust our gut in these situations to decide if this is a site that we want to purchase our products from, or if we want to go to somebody we use all the time and do some verification.
So where are places that you can verify that this is a legitimate company?
Well, again, you want to use the reviews. Research and read reviews of both the product and the company, and then you need to read product descriptions carefully. Look at the URL to identify if when you're entering your account password, if you have one, or if you are transmitting your credit card information, is there an HTTPS? Because there is no one magic place to check to see if all these sites and all these products are legitimate or not. You're going to have to do your own research, but you can always rely on the Better Business Bureau and DATCAP to check things out as a potential resource.
So if in doubt, how do we get a hold of you at DATCAP?
You can call the Consumer Protection Hotline at 1-800-422-7128, or you can go to our website at datcp.wi.gov.
8:45, 24 degrees coming up in just a minute. We've got Brendan Johnson from TMJ4. He's got that full forecast for the next 24 hours, and boy, it's a doozy.
You don't need a massive walk-in to have a beautiful, organized closet.
Tired of wasted space? Or that pile of shoes that's always hiding behind your closet door?
Abracadabra!
Inspired Closets is the expert at doubling or even tripling your storage space instantly.
It's like magic, but better, because it's custom designed for you.
We make it easy and affordable and transform your space regardless of its size or scope.
Get started today at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
Your way inside the huddle. Hit one, hit two, without putting on any pads. It's Green and Gold Insiders on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
The opposite shoulder, obviously quarterbacks always protect that throwing shoulder.
So when they take a hit on that opposite shoulder, you're always a little nervous.
Every day of the regular season at 4:15, it's Green and Gold Insiders all season long, right here on WTMJ.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. For today, mostly sunny and chilly temperatures topping out near 30 degrees. It's mostly cloudy tonight. Light snow starts up as temperatures fall back into the low 20s. A light to moderate steady snow expected all day Saturday. Widespread 8 to 11-inch snowfall accumulations will keep temperatures in the low 30s. Snow showers early on Sunday, then gradually tapering off. Blustery with blowing snow, high of 32. Then partly cloudy for Monday and Tuesday. Colder with highs in the low to mid-20s. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Mequon has 24 degrees. Racine's at 25. Oconomowoc has 21, and we have 24 degrees at WTMJ at 8:47.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vetrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Score the top gifts for the Brewers fan in your life this holiday season. Set them up for an epic 2026 season with the all-new Brewers Holiday Bundle featuring 4 ticket vouchers, loaded value concession credits, and an exclusive Brewers Holiday ornament starting at just $99. Finish shopping for even the youngest Brewers fans with the 2026 Kids Crew Kit, including one-of-a-kind Brewers merch, 6 ticket vouchers, a ballpark tour, and more, all for just $35. Grab every Brewers Holiday gift today at Brewers.com.
Drafty windows means wasted money. Call Siding Unlimited today for energy-efficient replacement windows and doors and start saving now. For a free estimate and honest price guarantee, go to sidingunlimited.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
It's 8:48. I'm Libby Collins in for Vince and Eric. Well, Ebenezer Child Care Center have been around over 50 years. And joining us is Sarah Rushford. She's a center coordinator. And Sarah, you've been in early education for a long time. And here we're into a long weekend. Looks like we've got a snow day tomorrow. Kids are going to get a little bit antsy. What kind of suggestions do you have for keeping them engaged, but not hooked on technology?
Absolutely. Well, good morning, and thank you for having me on this morning. There are a variety of ways that we recommend to eliminate that technology, and one of those ways is stimulating that creative side in a child, which many of us have those things laying around our house. And if you're out and about today, there's some fantastic deals to take advantage of to support that. So, for example, having the different art materials that you may have laying around and let children explore and touch and feel and see what they come up with to spark that creative side.
I don't know about you, but when you were a kid, did mom, like leave out the colored construction paper or maybe some felt pieces just to see what you would put together?
Yes, and I'll tell you what, those creations never ever cease to amaze us in our centers. They're the most beautiful masterpieces. And asking a child what they created is probably one of the most amazing things you can do for a child because they get so proud and excited about themselves.
What happens? What happens to a child when you take technology out of the equation and you allow them to just use their imagination to create?
Absolutely. So there's so many parts of the brain that you're stimulating that that focus on that level of development. So when you're looking at the creative side, actually the creativity actually leads to enhancing math. But then when you look at things like puzzles, right, which is another great thing that you can give a child, puzzles in itself enhance problem solving, memory, focus on memory and concentration, fine motor development, and of course the math skills, just from a simple puzzle. So when you look at those different activities that you're supporting and putting out for a child, it's more than just a game or an activity, there's so many parts of that brain that are developing. And the first 5 years is the most critical in a child's brain development. 90%, 80 to 90% of a child's brain is already developed by the time they're age 5. So before they even start school, that's done. So you have so many opportunities to develop that by providing these different opportunities, from the creativity to literacy to games and the puzzles.
Yeah, we hear about Legos, and of course, everybody loves Legoland and those Lego movies and everything. But what about traditional building blocks? How does that help to enhance a child's creative spirit?
Absolutely. So you're allowing them the opportunity to now envision and imagine what they want to build. It could be a monster or a dragon. It could be they're building a building. So you may have a future architect or an engineer that the brain is starting to fire off and create these ideas. It could be an animal that they're trying to create. So it's actually pretty cool and amazing to see what children will do. And then when you have multiple children that are in a group setting, to be able to see that cooperative play and how they work, and it's a team building opportunity for them as well. So taking that technology away and allowing multiple children to play and engage with one another begins that opportunity of teamwork. And as you and I know, when you become adults and you get into work settings and you're in things, that's a critical skill to be able to have, is to work with others.
You don't have to spend a lot of money to entertain a child. I can remember, this might sound so corny, Sarah, but a cardboard box. You give a kid a big cardboard box and maybe an old tablecloth, and it's amazing what they can do with that.
Oh my gosh, it is. And we actually, in our centers, we have things that we call loose parts. Obviously, they're appropriate for the different ages because we start with infants and we will go all the way up to school-age children. But we provide those opportunities for loose parts, like things like you just suggested, Libby, and like boxes, or it could be old pots and pans. It could be different parts of things that are safe for kids and allow them the opportunity to explore and play with and create. You're right, it is absolutely, they are content as be that they have these things, and you didn't have to purchase a thing.
We're talking with Sarah Rushford. She's the center coordinator for Ebenezer Child Care Centers. All right, so at what age would you say it's okay to introduce your child to technology? Give them an iPhone, give them an iPad, or do you try to hold that off as long as possible?
My personal, professional opinion is to hold off. I will tell you, we have, Ebenezer does have 8 locations. Our newest location is what I'm currently overseeing in our new Bayview, Southside, Milwaukee. And we do not actually offer technology. And our license, we care for children starting as young as 4 weeks of age, all the way up until 13. And in all of our centers, we do not even offer technology. Is not even in there. They are exposed to so much technology if you're a school-age child or in their own personal home. I would go off of doctors' recommendations, which I think they say they start limiting that screen time probably at toddler age, like the 2 range, for limited periods of time, and focus on the other aspects of development.
As long as you've been in child education, what do you notice about children who have been exposed to a lot of technology versus those who have been allowed to use their imagination? Is there a difference in their personalities?
Oh, absolutely. A child who is strictly focused on technology, they're not engaged. They actually are not as social because they're more isolated than so they don't have the peers. They don't want to play. They don't want to engage. Versus the children that you can tell the families do hold off on that technology, that are very much looking for those other activities to be able to stimulate their minds, and they want to play with others and those peers. So there's definitely a clear difference.
Well, today is Black Friday, so a lot of people are doing that shopping for the holidays. You've got a few suggestions of things that are local that would make great gift ideas, not just for a single child, but for the entire family.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm telling you, like, gifting, experiences is what I like to call it. and supporting our local businesses in our community are like absolutely amazing. So consider gifting a family like the Milwaukee County Zoo Pass. They'll be able to go to the zoo all year round and be able to expose the children to those fantastic opportunities. And that also extends to like the Betty Brim Museum, Discovery World. And you can even go to beyond that, maybe gifting an experience of a family night out, like to a bowling alley or a local restaurant or a theater. And then it's also creating that bonding and fun time and creating those memories, but we're also supporting the local businesses in our community at the same time.
Is there ever a time when it's okay to just say, all right, we're going to park you in front of the TV and turn on Disney or turn on a movie? Do you ever do that with kids, or do you try to discourage that?
I will never tell a parent how to parent. We will offer our expertise and our professional opinion on what we think is best. But I think, if I'm talking personally as being a parent myself, absolutely, I have done those things. And not to discourage to say that these shows don't have any sort of, that there's some educational material out there. Absolutely. I think it's just be cautious and be aware of the length, how long, and what are they being exposed to versus the other things that we have talked about and sparking cognitive and creative experiences for them.
Yeah, parents always need a little bit of a break, and those Disney movies, kind of 90 minutes, actually most of them are 78 minutes. It offers just that little break mom and dad need. Sarah,
Absolutely.
You have so many great ideas for the holidays and holiday shoppings. Is there any place where we can learn more?
Yes, if you go to our website at EbenezerChildcare.com, you'll be able to explore these ideas along with many others. And also, we are enrolling at all of our locations. So check out all the different locations. We have 8 of them in the community to serve all the families out there.
Sarah Rushford, Center Coordinator for Ebenezer Childcare. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, and happy post-Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much. Speaking of Thanksgiving, coming up after the news, we have an award-winning chef. He is going to share some innovative ideas of what to do with those leftovers. That's all ahead on Wisconsin Morning News.
You've spent a lifetime taking care of others. Now it's your turn to enjoy life your way. At Capri Communities, they offer vibrant senior living where neighbors become friends, and each day brings something to smile about.
Well, it's breakfast with the boys, and then bingo is at 3 in the afternoon. I lost that super lady I lived with for 60 years, but have found a home and doing well. The accommodations, the facilities, it's been a pleasure.
Find your perfect new home at CapriCommunities.com.
This holiday season, trade the hustle and bustle for a lakeside retreat just a short drive from the city at Lake Lawn Resort. With an award-winning spa, special events all month long, like our Taylor Swift experience, our annual Thanksgiving feast, and of course, the kickoff to our Breakfast with Santa brunch. Be sure to make time with family, friends, or that special someone. Lake Lawn Resort has everything you need to create cherished memories and relive stories of old. Book your holiday escape today at Lake Lawn Resort, where the spirit of the season comes to life and everything truly is better at the lake.
While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. The latest in news.
The EEOC is suing Northwestern Mutual, and it all comes down to a DEI.
Entertainment.
Former NFL quarterback Rodney Peete and his beautiful actor wife, Holly Robinson. Pete, let me welcome you both to the show this morning.
And more every Sunday morning starting at 8 on WTMJ.
Check off the wish list with instant savings and free battery offers on select Steel tools. Shop online or in-store at SteelUSA.com. That's SteelUSA.com.
New York may be the city of dreams, but tonight, these Bucks will have them waking up in a cold sweat.
Oh, he serves up a facial, driving inside on Keyshawn George.
The Bucks face off against the Knicks in the NBA Cup group stage. Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6 on the home of the Bucks, 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
At 8 o'clock. It's 26 degrees here in Milwaukee. Today, mostly sunny and chilly with a high of 30. Overnight tonight, mostly cloudy with snow beginning at 6 a.m., low of 23. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Elizabeth Lintonen. The FBI is now investigating the attack on 2 West Virginia National Guard members near the White House on Wednesday as a possible act of terrorism. ABC's Jay O'Brien has more from Washington.
The brazen ambush of 2 National Guard members shot just blocks away from the White House, now deadly. President Trump announcing 20-year-old Army Specialist Sarah Beckstrom has died of her injuries.
She's just passed away.
Beckstrom's father posting on Facebook, quote, "My baby girl has passed to glory." The president saying the other wounded West Virginia Guardsman, Air Force Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf, is fighting for his life.
Andrew Wolf is 24 years old. A man from North Carolina was arrested yesterday after driving through yards and striking a fire hydrant while intoxicated. Wauwatosa police say the 44-year-old drove through yards near 117th and Watertown Plank Road around 3 p.m., then struck a fire hydrant. This is the man's 3rd offense for driving while intoxicated. He was also in possession of methamphetamines. The water department has repaired the fire hydrant, and the man is currently being held in the Milwaukee County Jail. 2 people are dead and 2 others are injured after an apartment fire yesterday in Kenosha. Kenosha fire crews say were called to an apartment building on 52nd Street near 43rd Avenue around 10:30 last night. 1 person is in critical condition at a hospital and another person has minor injuries. The battalion chief says the unit is now uninhabitable, but there was no major damage to other units in the building and no additional injuries reported. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Milwaukee rapper Chicken P is facing new criminal charges out of Ohio.
Prosecutors in Cuyahoga County say Rakib Smith was indicted on several offenses. The charges consist of rape, attempted rape, abduction, and gross sexual imposition. The charges stem from an alleged incident in Cleveland last year. Smith is already serving a 6-year prison sentence in Wisconsin on separate drug and gun convictions. He has pleaded not guilty to the new charges, and the case is moving forward through the Ohio court system. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
And the Thanksgiving leftovers countdown begins. Health experts recommend eating refrigerated leftovers within 3 to 4 days. Milwaukee County Chief Health Policy Advisory Dr. Ben Weston tells Wisconsin's Midday News.
Watch for signs of spoilage. So sour or an off smell, certainly like a slimy or sticky texture, especially for that turkey. Obvious things like mold. But it's also remember that some spoiled food may not have any visible signs that it's unsafe. So if you're in doubt, it's best to not eat that food.
Thankfully for Wisconsin, one exception is cheese, which is safe to eat if you cut any mold away. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 9:03.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. You'll find exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 50% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
Shop Jewelry Television's Black Friday event and get 20% off your purchase of $99 or more. That's huge. And because JTV has gifts for men and women, like designer fragrances, handbags, sunglasses, and of course, amazing deals on gorgeous jewelry in thousands of styles, you can knock out your list just like that. Boom! Don't miss your chance to get 20% off your purchase of $99 or more during JTV's Black Friday event.
Hello.
Good morning. This is Joe, the owner of Sidex. Is this Cheryl?
This is.
I am so excited to announce that you have won this year's Beautiful Bathroom Contest.
I'm so excited.
I'm personally going to come over, show you a bunch of styles and colors, have you design the bathroom of your dreams.
I've had the same shower since we built our house 20 years ago.
Well, if you're in the same position that Cheryl is, please visit our website at sidexremodel.com or give us a call. It's 262-821-4400.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucks game. In 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Miles Turner. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Packers won yesterday against the Lions 31-24. Their next game is December 7th against the Bears. The Bucks play the Knicks tonight at 6:30, and the Admirals play the Rockford Ice Hogs tonight at 7. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. At the moment, we are seeing no major incidents and no major delays. It is still all clear out there. Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. But first things first, we are currently in a winter weather watch. A winter storm warning is in effect for all of southeastern Wisconsin from 6 a.m. Saturday through 6 a.m. Sunday, with heavy snow expected to make travel dangerous throughout the day. Today, mostly sunny and chilly with a high of 30. Overnight tonight, mostly cloudy with snow beginning at 6 a.m. tomorrow, low of 23. Saturday, light to moderate snow, 8 to 11 inches of expected accumulation. Wetter snow lakeside, high of 33. Sunday, snow early, then gradually tapering off. Blustery with blowing snow, cloudy, high of 32. Monday, partly sunny and cold, high of 22. Tuesday, partly cloudy, high of 24 degrees. Right now, in Madison, it's 25. In Green Bay, it's 24. In Waukesha, it's 24. And in Milwaukee, it is 26 degrees. I'm Elizabeth Linton in Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:07.
Thanks a lot, Liz, and you'll be back with us in about 20 minutes with more of your conversation with Carson Kressley, and we're getting into the gossip stuff. Can't wait. All right, but right now, you're sitting there looking at all those leftovers from yesterday. What are you going to do with them? Well, you might be familiar with Chef Kyle Null. He is from Birch. He's been a semifinalist for Best Chef Midwest and for Outstanding Chef by the James Beard Foundation. As a matter of fact, the buzz tells us he's going to be opening a new French bistro in the 3rd Ward very soon. We'll talk about that. But joining us is Chef Kyle. Good morning, Chef.
Good morning. Happy post-Thanksgiving.
How was your Thanksgiving, and what did you prepare?
Thanksgiving was perfect. The Packers had a exciting win and got to spend great time with the family and obviously eat delicious food. So it was a great day all in all. And I made, per request, the only thing that I made was braised greens. So I cooked kale and mustard greens, Southern style, like I grew up eating. So that's what I brought to the dinner table yesterday.
Well, I know at Birch you are very vegetable heavy, and
right.
And everybody eats the turkey, the dressing, the mashed potatoes, and what we have left over right now is probably the vegetables. So, what are some of the things you might suggest so we don't have to get rid of them? We want to use them, but what are some day after things when you have some of those wonderful vegetables?
Sure. For vegetables, by far my favorite thing to eat and cook, like really any time, but especially after the holidays, you take all those like roasted root vegetables, and I would say like if you haven't done it yet, obviously do it now and then eat them later. And you marinate them with like a good olive oil, some good vinegar, and some good herbs, and just let them sit marinated in your fridge for a couple hours, and then you pull them out and you kind of eat them at room temperature as a different side than you had the day before. And to me, they absorb all that olive oil and they're super delicious that way.
Oh, you know what? And we always forget about that. But, I got to ask you about turkey. Of course you make a turkey sandwich. You can just have the leftover turkey. But if you've got some of those meats left over from yesterday, do you have anything kind of an innovative idea of something to do with them?
So this is it's a pretty interesting idea. So I think making like a turkey rillette is something pretty cool and fun. So
okay, now stop me. I'm going to stop you right there. What is a rillette?
Rillette. So rillette is it's a little French bistro dish that we're actually going to do at Cassis, and typically it's like you would see like pork rillette. It's like a kind of like a meat paste that you would smear on a piece of toasty bread. So you can make that actually with your leftover turkey as well, and I think that's a fun way. Like obviously I love sandwiches, and I wouldn't use it all because I'd want to have a leftover sandwich or two, but to make like a little turkey rillette would be I think something delicious and fun that you can actually put in your fridge to have for a couple of days.
And how do you make it?
So you warm the meat up a little bit so that it can fall apart easy. I think the easiest thing to do would be you warm it up, you put it into like a mixing bowl. If you have a KitchenAid, that works great. You can do it by hand if you need to. And you start to shred the meat, and then as you're shredding it, you add a little butter or gravy. And you kind of work all that together, and you work it into a paste, and then you put it into a jar and kind of press it down, and then it's there in a jar ready to pull out for an appetizer or a snack or something just special and different.
Oh, I'm getting hungry. We are talking with Chef Kyle Nall from Birch, and you mentioned Cassis. That is your new restaurant. There's a lot of buzz about this because it's going to be the only French bistro in the Third Ward, at least that I know of. What are some of the plans, and when do you expect to open?
We're actually looking to open at the end of December. We're hoping that we have like friends and family the last week of December, and actually be open for New Year's Eve for like a limited experience, but fully open New Year's Eve, and then I think kind of wide open on January 5th.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the menu that you expect to have there. Sure. Because again, I know you really believe in authentic food, and you are going out of your way to make sure this is an authentic French bistro.
Right. You know, the biggest thing for us is that when you walk into this restaurant, obviously you want it to be pretty and fun and special, but we really want it to feel sincere and authentic. And so that's everything from the tile on the floor to, you know, the millwork that we chose to do. But we want the food to feel like you're sitting anywhere from like a Paris bistro to like the countryside of France. So like to me, it's about being simple and delicious and really straightforward. So like we'll have things like moule frites and steak frites because we want those things and we love those things. But you know, we're gonna have plays on more classic French dishes like coq au vin and things like that are like really heartwarming when you eat them and really kind of take you away to a different place.
What are some of the things you're really looking forward to serving and maybe introducing a new audience to?
Yeah, so like everybody knows what a deviled egg is, and I think a deviled egg actually kind of came from a French dish called oeuf mayo. And so it's a soft-boiled egg. The way that we're going to do it, it's a soft-boiled egg that we're going to serve with this very bright and herby green aioli right on top. So it's like a really fresh soft-boiled egg that has a ton of brightness to it. And we're also going to, like, I think the most fun things we're going to do, we're going to take these ideas that are normally entrees like the croque monsieur and change them into like hors d'oeuvre type things. And so like we're going to have a lot of dishes that you can sit down and share with a group of people and kind of take these ideas that were normally entrees and make them into something smaller and more fun and delicious.
Are you going to be open for more than dinner?
Yeah, we're going to be open lunch and dinner and then brunch on the weekend.
Ah, brunch. There you go. It sounds like a plan. And I bet you're going to have a great wine list.
Oh, the wine list is going to be spectacular.
Well, Chef Kyle, no, we love Birch, but we can't wait to see the new restaurant, Cassis. Thank you for sharing that with us. And also, what are you having for lunch today?
I am going to actually take a little bit of the stuffing from yesterday. I'm going to put it in like a nonstick pan and get it a little crispy. And then I'm going to fry an egg and eat that on top.
I'm coming to your house for lunch. Kyle Nall, thanks so much for joining us today. Have a happy...
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me.
Have a happy Black Friday.
You as well.
9:14, 24 degrees at WTMJ.
Do you have a spot that's too cold in the winter, but if you jack up the heat, the rest of the house is too warm? Vince Vitrano for USA Insulation. Time to get Jeff and his team out to your house. Proper insulation from USA forms a thermal barrier that maintains warmth in the winter and coolness in the summer. Time to get in on thousands of dollars of government efficiency credits. Jeff and his team at USA Insulation find the grants, rebates, reductions, and they discount the cost of your project up front. Get started at usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Flimsy, feeble, flaccid. That's how you can describe most pre-approval letters these days because most banks still issue pre-approval letters without actually verifying your income, employment, or down payment. That's the exact opposite of an AccuNet rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval, where we put a $2,000 guarantee behind the fact the seller can actually rely on the terms of your pre-approval and offer. With AccuNet, there's also a possibility of issuing a property-specific pre-approval with as little as a 10% down payment that includes the magic words, no appraisal required. That's right. AccuNet may be able to issue your pre-approval without needing an appraisal. That's the kind of certainty that can help a seller say yes to your offer. Sure, you can try competing with a flimsy bank pre-approval, or you can click on the blue button at AccuNet.com and get started with the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as the best in the business. That's ACCUNET.com.
Well, now that Thanksgiving is in the rearview mirror, we are really revving up for the holidays. You know, that smell of cinnamon and gingerbread and all those yummy, delightful scents that you get this time of the year. Well, how about heading up to Kohler? Because that is where the Gingerbread Festival is going to return for its 29th year. And joining us is Jen Balch. She is with the Kohler Foundation, and this all gets underway today at 1 o'clock.
That's right, and it takes place at the Walder House in Kohler, which is a historic building. So it's a beautiful room filled with wood carvings and stained glass. But the feature of the day or of the festival are the gingerbread creations that people make. So visitors get to come in and pick their favorite gingerbread creations, and then winners get cash prizes, and if they're not already part of a school or a nonprofit, they get to select a nonprofit to donate their winnings to.
Tell us about the people who are putting together these gingerbread collections. How many organizations do you have participating?
Oh my gosh. I'd say there's probably about 20 different, groups or organizations, and I think we have almost 50 creations this year. It's everything from a family from the village of Kohler to RCS Empowers to there's a classroom that does creations every year, and so we get about 11 or 12 from one of the local schools. So it's really exciting to see what they come up with every year, and some groups do it year after year, and so it's fun to watch them learn some new tricks and get better at what they're doing, and then it's fun to see how inventive all the newcomers are every year.
Now, Chris, these are all handcrafted creations made out of gingerbread.
Yeah.
Describe some of them. What do they look like?
Oh my gosh, there's so many good ones this year. We have a Dairy Queen. We have a lighthouse. Someone did a Titanic, so that one's kind of exciting. It's one of those things where when you give people the sort of agency to create whatever they want, they make things that you could never even imagine. So it's really fun, and every year we see some classics, like we usually see like a Whoville or like Candyland, so it's always fun to see what they come up with. There's a really impressive one that is of Noah's Ark, and it has this amazing rainbow behind it, which is really exciting. And then the John Michael Kohler Art Center preschool does one every year, and so they usually do one inspired by one of the exhibitions that they have on display at the museum. And so this year it's an entirely pink room. It's really amazing.
Oh my gosh, this sounds so fantastic. Now you've got entertainment going on to get in the holiday spirit as well. A lot of choirs and performers are all going to be there doing holiday music.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's every Saturday and Sunday at 2 p.m. And to attend the festival is totally free. We love to keep that super accessible for people. And we have a ramp that goes up into the building, so it's accessible for anyone that uses a wheelchair or a walker. And we have everything from a choir that's been going on in Sheboygan for over 100 years to students that are coming to play their instruments or sing in their groups from their schools. So it's really exciting to see all the families that come out and all the friends that come to support their musically inclined friends.
Now, this is going on until December 30th. So what do we need to know if we want to visit the Gingerbread Festival?
Sunday through Friday, it's 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., so we're open every day of the week. And then on Saturday, it's 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., so we have a little bit of extended hours on Saturday. And then in addition to attending the festival, you are welcome to take a tour of the building, and we offer those in the afternoons at 2, 3, and 4 p.m. Those are also free, and you can learn a little bit about our history and what makes the building so special.
Well, if you want to get more information, do you have a website?
KohlerFoundation.org.
Jen, I can't thank you enough for telling us about it. And again, the Gingerbread Festival, it's the 29th year, gets underway at 1 o'clock today at Kohler. Well, I hope you have a really great holiday season and a wonderful turnout, Jen.
Thanks, Libby. I really appreciate it.
It's going to be mostly sunny and chilly today. Our high temperature is going to be 30 degrees. Now, those winds are going to be a little bit gusty, up to 25 miles an hour. Tonight, cloudy. That's when it all begins, about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. That snow is going to start under temperatures of around 23 degrees, and it is going to continue for about 24 hours. We're talking now 8 to 11 inches of snow, maybe even a little bit wetter and heavier if you're close to the lake. Tomorrow's high is going to be right around 30 to 33 degrees, so it's going to be right there hovering at that freezing point. And that snow is just going to continue for 24 24 hours. Finally, Sunday morning, you're going to see it taper off a little bit, but it's going to be blustery. And, yep, we'll have some blowing snow with a high of 32. 25 degrees is our temperature at 9:20 on WTMJ. And coming up next, Phil Sklar from the Bobblehead Museum joins us, and he is talking about a big game tomorrow. We'll tell you all about it right after this on Wisconsin Morning News.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, WTMJ's Eric Vilstead here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
Throttle City, USA.
I was not ordering a pizza.
Yeah, because when you work for the local government, doing the bare minimum is doing your part.
All right, maybe we do some bits.
That is terrible.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
Hey, we all know pain is a way of stealing the moments that matter most, especially during the holidays. That's all coming up. Not just your knees, your back, shoulder. For me, it was my elbow. I had tennis elbow. I decided to do something, changed my life in 2025. I went to QC Kinetics, met Dr. Ashley Caravelli, a great team at QC Kinetics right here in Milwaukee. They helped me deal with that pain, not with surgery, not with pain pills, using my body's own natural healing powers. And you know what? In 5 treatments this summer, it made my body come back to where it was before. Using my own cells, long-term relief. I don't have the pain anymore. Elbow's fine. Back to all the things I love to do, like walking, hiking, not so much dancing, but enjoying the holidays, because that's coming up. Life without pain, without hesitation. QC Kinetics, healing is within reach. It was awesome for me in 2025. Let's make 2025 and 2026 your reason to call QC Kinetics. Schedule your free consultation. Now's the best time to use your HSA and FSA for treatments. Call 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
It is 9:23 on WTMJ. I'm Libby Collins, and for Vince and Eric. Yep, they'll be back on Monday morning. Well, tomorrow is a big game in Minneapolis when the Gophers and the Badgers meet with that big rivalry that's been going on. Is it true? It's 135 years? Well, there's some people that are going to be celebrating it in an unusual way. And joining us is Phil Sklar, our buddy from the National Bobblehead Museum. And Phil, I never underestimate you and your ability to find things that really interest people. And is this the first time that you're putting together something in honor of this big game?
Yeah, well, it's good to talk to you again. And this is the very first Wisconsin versus Minnesota rivalry bobblehead, and it's hard to believe it took 135 meetings to make that happen. But yeah, we have the rivalry bobblehead, and it even includes a replica of Paul Bunyan's axe, which makes this one of the more fun Wisconsin bobbleheads that we've put out there.
Well, you've got 2 engaging mascots that are part of this bobblehead. Describe them for us.
That's right. I think 2 of the best mascots in college sports. You got Bucky Badger, obviously one of the most unique and fun mascots, and then Goldie Gopher. And then they're both on the football field base with the team colors, logos, and everything, and they're both holding Paul Bunyan's axe.
Oh,
and, yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do they both have their hands on the axe?
They do, yeah. So they're both holding that axe and maybe playing a little tug of war with it, and it's been a pretty even series, so that makes it even more exciting.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, is you're talking about the same amount of wins for both teams.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable. 63, 63, and 8 ties in the all-time series, and this will be game number 135 in the series, and it'll be broken. Somebody will have the lead after tomorrow night.
Oh, I was going to say, and we know we have a lot of Badger fans listening, and there might be a few Gopher fans out there as well. But you're going to have these ready in time for the holidays. Did we lose Phil? Did we
I'm
lose?
here.
Oh, there you
Yes.
are.
Nope, I'm here.
Those bobbleheads will be ready for holiday gift giving.
Yeah, so we actually just unveiled them this morning. It's a pre-order, so if you want to give it as a holiday gift, it'll be, you'll have to tell them it's coming soon because it'll be coming in May. But we do have a lot of other bobbleheads in stock for both Wisconsin and Minnesota if you're looking for a gift to put under the tree or to give to somebody this year.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot, Phil. What's going to happen at that game tomorrow?
Well, Wisconsin's been on a roll, so I definitely have Wisconsin picked. They had a rough start to the season, but they've won 2 games against ranked teams here recently, and so I think Wisconsin's going to bring that Paul Bunyan's axe back to Madison and to the state of Wisconsin.
Well, Black Friday is kind of a fun day, and if you get a lot of people visiting from out of town, you're open today at the Bobblehead Museum, and this is fun for every age of the family, whether you're talking about 2-year-olds to people who are 92.
That's right, yeah. So we're open from 10 to 6 today. We have scavenger hunts for kids of all ages. We have the world's largest collection of bobbleheads, over 10,000 unique bobbleheads, sports, non-sports, politics, movies, you name it. So you can see a bit of everything. And it's a great place to take out-of-town visitors, or if you're doing something, local. We get people who come in all the time that are like, oh, I've been meaning to come here, and they love it, and they end up bringing visitors back.
I remember taking my niece there, and she wouldn't leave until she found everything on that scavenger hunt. And it took us a while, but we finally did get them all.
Yeah, and we also have Waldo who hides and moves around, so you can come one week and find Waldo and then spend another couple hours trying to find him the next week.
And that's why we had so much trouble finding him. Thanks a lot. I wish I had called you ahead of time to find out where he was that day. All right, so if anybody wants to find out more about the Gopher Badgers big rivalry bobblehead, or if they want to find out your hours for the National Bobblehead Museum, maybe bring some out-of-town guests because it is a fun time. Where can we learn more?
Yes, you can get the bobblehead at store.bobbleheadhall.com and pre-order it today, individually numbered to only $20.25, and then the website's Bobblehead Hall. You can find all the information right there.
Oh, you are always ahead of the curve. Phil Sklar from the Bobblehead Museum. Thanks so much for talking with us this morning.
Thanks, Libby. Have a great day.
It's 9:28.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. It's kindness, it's compassion, it's very specialized training. Their mission is to transform the culture of care, and they're doing that every single day. I've been in their places. I've seen how they love and take care of people with cognitive decline, Alzheimer's, or other related dementia symptoms. In part at Azura, they do such a great job because their staff goes through specialized training. They're going to take great care of you. Locations throughout southeast Wisconsin, Wisconsin-based, family-owned. It's Azura.
Whether you're ready or not, the holidays are here. But Wisconsin Harley-Davidson has you covered. Stop by for the Black and Orange Weekend, Friday, November 28th and Saturday, November 29th. Whether you're working on winter projects, decorating, working on your list, or just filling up your closet, don't miss Black and Orange Weekend at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. Get all the info by liking them and following them on Facebook, Instagram, or at wishd.com. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
Well, I don't know how you spent your Thanksgiving. I mean, I spent it with some family. We had turkey. We had the football game on. We had lots of pies. But we didn't spend any time driving around any front yards. Joining us, of course, in the WTMJ Breaking News Center is Liz Linton at 9:30. And Wauwatosa had, I don't know if I want to call it a celebration, but it certainly had a lot of attention on a couple streets on what happened in Tosa during the Thanksgiving feast yesterday.
Thanks, Libby. A man from North Carolina was arrested yesterday after driving through front yards and striking a fire hydrant while intoxicated. Wauwatosa police say the 44-year-old drove through yards near 117th and Watertown Plank Road around 3 p.m. and then struck a fire hydrant. This is the man's third offense for driving while intoxicated. He was also in possession of methamphetamines. The water department has repaired the fire hydrant, and the man is currently being held in the Milwaukee County Jail. 2 people are dead and 2 others are injured after an apartment fire yesterday in Kenosha. Kenosha fire crews say they were called to an apartment building on 52nd Street near 43rd Avenue around 10:30 last night. One person is in critical condition at a hospital and another person has minor injuries. The battalion chief says that the unit is now uninhabitable, but there was no major damage to other units in the building and no additional injuries reported. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan had her final hearing before her federal case heads to trial. She's charged with federal obstruction and preventing ICE from arresting an undocumented man at the courthouse back in April. In court, federal judge Lynn Edelman focused on jury selection, which will start December 11th. 34 flagged jurors will be questioned individually in chambers for any bias, hardship, or prior knowledge. Both sides also argued how much of the April 18th audio recordings from the ICE arrest the jury should be able to hear. Dugan's trial begins on December 15th. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. At the moment, it is all clear out there. We're not seeing any major delays at this time. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. But first things first, we are currently in a winter weather warning that's starting at 6 a.m. tomorrow on Saturday, and it is going through 6 a.m. on Sunday. That's a winter weather warning. But today, mostly sunny and chilly, high of 30. Overnight tonight, mostly cloudy with snow beginning at 6, low of 23. Saturday, snow and lots of it, 8 to 11 inches of accumulation. Wetter snow on the lakeside, high of 33. Sunday, snow early, then gradually tapering off, blustery and cloudy with a high of 32. Monday, partly sunny and cold, high of 22. Tuesday, partly cloudy, high of 24. At the moment in Madison, it's 25. In Waukesha, it's 24. And in Milwaukee, it is 26 degrees. I'm Elizabeth Linton, and Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 9:32.
Liz, do you have a couple minutes to stick around and wrap that conversation you had with Carson Kressley?
I sure do, Libby.
And we're getting into the good stuff right after this. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Morning News.
It's a family fish fry Friday at the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Do not pay $16 or more. Your Mineshaft haddock fish fry is just $7.99, and it's all you can eat. I love the Mineshaft fish fry, and desserts are always buy one, get one free. They've got chocolate cake. They've got ice cream. They've got it all, and you get one free when you buy one. Get out of your kitchen. Enjoy a cold beverage at the Mineshaft's all-you-can-eat fish fry for $7.99 today. Kids menu starts at just $3.99. Wow, it's big food, big fun. It's the Mineshaft, where I love that world-class game room quietly set aside from the dining area. Your kids, your grandkids, they're going to love it. I highly recommend the Saturday all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet for under $10 from 8 till noon. Walk in today for your $7.99 all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry serving from 10:30 a.m. The Mineshaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh near EAA. Lots of seating, lots of close parking. Mineshaft Restaurant.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
And welcome back to the final half hour, Wisconsin Morning News. I'm Libby Collins, and for Eric and Vince, they'll be back here on Monday. Joining us, Liz Lintonen, and Liz had the opportunity to talk with TV personality Carson Kressley, and they got into some real good gossip.
While I have you, I would be remiss if I did not ask about, you have been on 3 of my favorite TV shows of all time, which is Drag Race, Dancing with the Stars, and Queer Eye. I first kind of want to.
Thank you. Yes.
I'm freaking out a little bit. Specifically about the Drag Race, I watch that every night with my roommates. We're huge fans, so I'm very excited to have you here. Can I ask how being on that show has influenced your personal style? You know, and like when you're judging, what are you looking for?
Yeah, that's a great question. I love Drag Race. It is super fun. It's like going to see a great drag performance, you know, every time I go to work. I think the number one thing I look for is self-expression. And I think as judges, we always tell the contestants on the show, like, show us how you do drag. And I think that's a great mantra for them. Like, just be yourself, but be obviously the best and take a lot of care and preparation. But show us your way. I think that's what makes contestants stand out from the pack. And I think that's great advice for life in general. Like, do things your way, make it personal, put your stamp on it, and that keeps you kind of untouchable from the competition.
Oh, I love that. And that's definitely what you've done, you know, as the icon that you are. That's perfect. I
try.
You try, and you do it well. You were also on Beat Bobby Flay. This is actually a question from one of our radio hosts here, who also is a very big fan.
Okay, yes.
Did you ever see anyone beat Bobby Flay?
I think I have. I've done Beat Bobby Flay maybe like 10 or 15 times, and he's a really good friend of mine. And I used to feel bad when we were cheering him to get beat. I was like, wait, he's my friend. I can't be mean to him. But then he was winning so much, I was like, this is getting annoying. And then I would start cheering for the person to beat him. And it happens rarely.
It happens
but
rarely.
I think I've seen it once or twice. And he is also a great guy and the most incredible chef. I mean, he wins so much because his food is just phenomenal.
Just top notch. And he and Brooke are so cute together. Did you ever notice anything going on between them? They're so cute.
They're so precious. And I judged Barbecue Brawl for like 6 or 7 seasons, and I did it with Brooke, and I was like, what is going on here? You guys are awfully chummy. But I think that didn't happen until recently, and they are just couldn't happen to two nicer people. They're perfect for each other. I adore them both, and they're a match made in the kitchen.
They are a match made in the kitchen, that's for sure. All right, I just want to ask about Queer Eye really quick, and then I promise I'll let you go.
Absolutely, no worries.
Have you seen the new Queer Eye, and how do you think they compare together? Have you ever spoken to, Tan France, who is your style counterpart in the new show? And, describe your perspective as being a part of the original show.
Of course I've spoken to Tan.
Of course you've spoken to Tan. Do you French tuck your shirts?
No, I've been doing the Ralph tuck since I, worked for Ralph Lauren back in the 90s. But
what is a Ralph
I think
tuck?
the new version, the Ralph tuck is like a little bit more of a full tuck, and a tuck with things layered underneath it. Like maybe you do like a striped French T-shirt and then tuck a chambray shirt into your jeans on top of the T-shirt.
Gotcha.
We're all about layering at Ralph. But yes, we met the new cast when the new version of Queer Eye kicked off. It was almost like, I think 7 or 8 years ago. It was pre-pandemic, which is how I gauge every timeline. And they're all lovely and so talented, and we were so thrilled that such a great group of truly gentlemen were going to be taking over the mantle from us and carrying on the brand. And I think they've done a beautiful job. I think they did. It was 8 seasons. This is their last season. Airing right now on Netflix, and maybe I'll live long enough to see the 3rd reboot.
All right. Well, I have asked just about everything that is on my end. Is there anything else you want to make sure that people know about you, that we make sure we spread the word about, that people can access you, anything?
Yeah. I mean, I have lots of fun and exciting projects coming up, and another Beef Bobby Flay Holiday Edition, which airs on November 25th.
Oh, exciting.
And you can just find out everything, find out about my stylish travels and everything else that's going on at Carson Presley on Instagram is my preferred mode of social media.
Well, the good news is, because they replay those things on the Food Network over and over and over again, even though it aired the other night, the holiday edition, it'll be on again.
Oh, yeah, you can still
be on
catch it
tons
for
of
sure.
times here between now and
Yes,
Christmas.
it will.
All right, well, that was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for talking with Carson. Now, if you joined us late, or if you want to hear everything you discussed with Carson, you've got a place where we can go and we can hear everything, Liz.
You sure can. So the entire interview is linked as a podcast in a web story on our website. So it'll be under Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News, the tab on our website, as well as just on the page under my name. So it's WTMJ.com, and you'll be able to find the full interview there.
So how did you enjoy talking with a real celebrity?
Oh my God. I mean, I have interviewed, many, many people in my very short career, and he was by far one of my favorites. He was lovely. He was fascinating. He was so well-spoken. It was a blast.
And now we know what a Lauren Tuck is.
We sure do.
Thanks a lot, Liz. And you'll be back with us at 10 o'clock with What's Going On in the World. It's
I sure will be.
9:41, and what's going on in the world that we really want to know? How much snow tomorrow? They keep upping that number, and you'll hear from Brendan Johnson, TMJ4 meteorologist, right after this.
Hi, this is Dave Spano, CEO of Annex Wealth Management. As we head towards the new year, I want to extend a heartfelt gratitude to our listeners and to our clients. Thank you for your trust, your partnership, and the conversations we get to have every day. From all of us at Annex, we wish you and your family a safe, joyful, and meaningful holiday season.
Investment and retirement planning, along with tax and estate strategies. Get financially organized for the new year. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
Don't think twice. Call Dice. A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new LiftMaster or CHI maintenance-free garage door. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. A study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%. Garage doors rank first among all home improvement projects. To see Geiss's huge selection of doors, visit their showroom in Brookfield, or you can also visit their online showroom at geissdoors.com. Geiss has everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, you call Geiss at 262-784-4250. That number again, 262-784-4250. It's Geiss. Visit them online at geissdoors.com. Don't think twice. Call Dice.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. For today, mostly sunny and chilly, high temperatures near 30 degrees. It's mostly cloudy tonight. Light snow starts to spread over southern Wisconsin. Lows in the low 20s. Light to moderate steady snow expected all day Saturday. Widespread 8 to 11-inch snowfall accumulation expected. Highs in the low 30s. Snow showers early on Sunday, then gradually tapering off. Blustery with blowing snow, high of 32. We'll look for a partly cloudy sky Monday and Tuesday with highs in the low to mid 20s. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Currently, it's 25 degrees in Cedarburg. Brookfield has 25. Oak Creek 26, and we have 26 degrees at WTMJ. At 9:43, we're going to take a look back at the week in review. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Morning News.
It's here. Black Friday deals are live at Fox World Travel, and your next adventure is waiting. Set sail with Viking or Holland America. Fly away with Delta Vacations. Explore Europe with Insight or Globus. Or unwind in luxury with Classic Vacations. From sun-soaked beaches to breathtaking rivers and historic cities, there's a trip for every dreamer. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com. These exclusive partner deals won't last long.
I know why you continue to live in pain. It's because you don't believe anything can be done to help. Maybe you bought into something and you've been burned before. I mean, your skepticism, it's understandable. This is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and here we use powerful, anti-inflammatory, and cushioning pharmacological medicines to ease your pain. They're FDA approved, and most medical insurance is going to pay for our treatments, including Medicare and Medicaid. And that's the litmus test. Because if insurance has shown to cover the cost of many of our patients' treatments, you can be sure it's valid medicine. It's not a biological treatment considered experimental or some new gimmick that's trying to hook you. The Rejuvenex approach to pain relief is legitimate. It helps to alleviate pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. And from what we've seen, it gives people a new lease on their lives.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Call today, and there's a good chance we'll see you tomorrow.
9:45, 26 degrees at WTMJ. Well, it's been quite a week. Geyser was caught again. There were budget veto woes. There were a lot of turkeys pardoned. And there was a lot more, too. It's a week in review. Brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
Rashawn Gary gets there this time and forces an interception. McCarthy down the seam and too tall and picked off. Second interception.
Minnesota's offense has looked a little wish-washy. They did not look good yesterday. So
That's a nice way of putting it.
A lot of credit to the Green Bay defense.
Slenderman attacker Morgan Geyser is missing. Madison police say she cut off her GPS tracker and walked away from her group homes.
Turn yourself in. Do not continue to remain on the run like this. It is not in your best interest to handle this matter that way.
Clearly, she should not have gotten released. She should have been in jail in the first place. She should have went to jail when she did it. She should have went to jail and she proved it. She has shown that she can't be trusted.
The next day,
Morgan Geyser back in custody this morning.
Over 24 hours after allegedly cutting off her GPS tracker and leaving her group home, Geyser was arrested in Illinois Sunday night.
Let's go to the Waukesha County Courthouse.
Once Ms. Geyser is brought back to Waukesha County, it will be up to Department of Health Services whether they file a petition to revoke her conditional release. We are certainly hopeful that they do proceed with that. We fully support it.
The man that Geyser was with, we now know the identity of that individual, identified as 43-year-old Chad Mecca.
So that'll do it on this one. It's going to be a tough loss for the Bucs here tonight. What you cannot have is a 5-game losing streak to all of a sudden turn into 9. Now we got to play at a pace where we're winning 65 to 70% of our games just to pull ourselves out of that 7 to 10 mix.
So is it kind of exciting to wrap up the harvest and then everybody's, excited to get cranberries out for Thanksgiving? I'm sure kind of the timing is nice.
I always say that this is like the Super Bowl period of the cranberry.
Milwaukee Common Council overriding your vetoes. What's your first reaction to that decision?
Do we really have an objective system of checks and balances in the city of Milwaukee anymore?
The mayor and I disagree on a lot of things, and I don't think that's any secret, but I'm with him on his frustration here.
What do you say to the mayor?
Would I have preferred a higher apportionment at the beginning? Of course I would have. Those costs do not, under any circumstance, get cheaper.
Today is the annual White House turkey pardon.
And initially, the story said it was waddle and wobble, and then we got an alert from our news director making sure that we knew it was waddle and gobble.
Oh, I'm even more confused now.
Waddle and gobble.
Yeah, weather is going to be something to keep on your radar, no pun intended there, through the holiday between what we have.
So plenty of tracking snow, I guess, for those who are interested.
Yeah, hopefully they can see the tracks before they get filled up by more snow.
At your table, will you talk about politics?
No, we don't discuss politics, but we also don't discuss football.
So whether you're hosting or visiting someone's house, here's the question. Shoes on or shoes off? Is there any truth, Dr. Weston, to the idea that wearing your shoes in the house can impact your health?
Yeah, well, the short answer is yes. If you want to keep your home clean, might be worth taking off your shoes.
This Saturday is Small Business Saturday. Shop local. Happy Thanksgiving.
What a week, eh? What a week.
Gobble wobble.
Not waddle and wobble.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
And I always wear slippers in the house. It's a week and a half review brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. If you want to hear it all again, text the word week to the Siding Unlimited talk and text line at 855-616-1620. Coming up next, if you're looking for kind of a different place a lot of people are talking about in the area to bring some out-of-town guests, we'll tell you where it is right after this.
Point taken with Scafidi and Bry.
We talk about information, but we are not the firsthand report of the information. And so do you feel that we are part of the problem?
We're trying to do something that says, here's the stories that people are talking about. Here's how they touch us in our lives. We're not part of the problem if we stay on course. But if we become like all the other degenerates, I use the word on purpose.
To rile up the base?
To rile up the base. Everyone's like nodding their heads in their cars. Like, what are you doing?
Weekdays from 10 to noon on WTMJ.
There are a lot of lawyers in Wisconsin, but only the top 5% are awarded the distinction of super lawyer, including 94% of the attorneys in our firm. In fact, 25 of our attorneys were named super lawyers last year, as well as the #1 lawyer in Wisconsin, and 6 more were named rising stars. Not every car accident case requires a super lawyer, but why settle for anything less on your case? Habish, Habish & Rotier, national reputation, hometown service. Visit habish.com for more information.
Blain's Farm and Fleet's Black Friday sale starts this Friday at 6 a.m. Now's your chance to save up to 50% or more on Friday-only super deals store-wide while supplies last. Like 60% off 26-piece Rubbermaid food storage sets, just $9.99. Select men's Nunn Bush slip-on shoes, half price. And 40-pound bags of Blain's brand black oil sunflower seed, just $18.99. Don't miss your chance to save up to 50% or more during Blain's Farm and Fleet's Black Friday sale starting at 6 a.m.
Enjoy the Fox and Hounds restaurant's fabulous all-you-can-eat fish fry. It's one of the best. The magnificent Sunday brunch is also all-you-can-eat. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat free. Call and reserve foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
People around town are talking about it. It's your office. No, not your office. It's your office. One of the owners is joining us, Lisa Praber. And Lisa, I am amazed how many people are talking about your office.
I'm so excited about it. It has been a long time coming. How this came to be was I was sitting at the Milwaukee Athletic Club, minding my own business, and Nick Starr, one of my co-owners, came up to me and I was telling him about a couple of businesses I bought that weren't great investments. And a few weeks later, he comes up to me and says, "Hey, you like to make bad investments. You want to buy a bar with me?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And he goes, "Great, let's go meet with the owner of Black Sheep. I think he might be a great third for us." And we're like, "Yeah, okay." So we went and met with Mike Sorge, the owner of Black Sheep, and pitched the idea. And Mike was like, absolutely. So at this time last year, the three of us were basically perfect strangers that decided to buy a bar together, and it's been magical.
Well, you know, one of the things that kind of intrigued me is you have a private entrance for regulars.
No, it's the employee entrance.
Oh, okay.
So if you're part of our Employee of the Month club, then there's perks like the more time you spend at your office, the bigger your bonus will be, and you get private access to the employee entrance in the back alley, which is super fun. So a little speakeasy-esque experience. So
what makes it special? Because everybody's talking about the decor, and I know you went really to great lengths to get everything you could that would remind people, well, of an office of not necessarily these days, but maybe 20, 30, 40, even 50 years ago.
Yeah, it's been really fun to run with this theme. Obviously, the bar that was there before was called My Office, and it was a very popular dive bar. So we really wanted to maintain those dive bar vibes, but elevate it a little bit and then just maybe run with a theme. So I own a sales and marketing agency called The Middle Six. So my team has really knocked it out of the park with the branding and marketing. And the decor itself has also been a beautiful part of this marketing play. So we have our dive bar vibe. So every part of the decor is vintage or antique, curated from, bar collectors, Elkhorn Flea Market, Antiques on Pierce, and then things that people have brought in and given to us. So it's a mixture of dive bar, neons, and workplace awards of old. So we love that people have been bringing in their old Employee of the Month, Employee of the Year, 10 years at. It's all people's accomplishments in the workplace, as well as a bunch of old staplers and employee manuals and books about being a good secretary. And, the bathrooms are decorated with vintage pantyhose and vintage ties.
Do you have the legs?
No legs. We need legs. Yes.
Is it true that you are actually looking for floppy disks?
We need floppy disks.
Why do you
yes.
need floppy disks?
Well, we serve the checks on floppy disks, and it's been interesting watching the bartenders that are younger than me say, "What is this?" and having to explain.
No, they don't know what a floppy disk is.
So sad. But the decor will continue to evolve as people bring stuff in. We've got plans to really continue, layering on these treasures of old workspaces.
What a great fun place. Well, like I said, everybody's talking about it. It is your office. Lisa Praber, one of the owners. Can't thank you enough for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Gina. And by the way, Gina's done a great job producing this morning.
Thank you.
And you've been so busy, I barely had a chance to talk to you. But do you know what legs are?
No.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, now you're going to make me feel real old. There was a time way back when, in the olden days, when women used to buy their pantyhose in a plastic egg. And it was called legs.
Oh, why?
Why wear pantyhose or why buy it?
Why were they in an egg?
It was a thing. They were called legs, L''EGGS. And so you'd get your pantyhose, and they'd be rolled up in a ball, and they'd be inside an egg. And you could get these everywhere. You could go to Walgreens, legs were everywhere. And you'd go and you buy your legs, and you'd open up your eggs, and there would be your pantyhose.
Well, you learn something new every day.
Sort of like Easter morning. All right, thank you very much. She did a great job today. Coming up here after the news, it's going to be Steve Scafidi, Point Taken, a special Black Friday edition. But we are keeping our eye on that weather, and that is, today's not so bad. This is, if you want to get stuff done, you want to go somewhere, this is the day to do it because it's going to be sunny. Yeah, it'll be chilly, about 30 degrees. But then tonight, that's where it gets interesting. We're going to drop down to about 23 degrees, and that light snow is going to begin overnight. By 6 o'clock in the morning, you are going to see it because it is going to continue. As TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson put it to me this morning, excuse the expression, the skies will be puking snow. Actually, up to 8 to 11 inches of accumulation if you are close to the lake. That snow is going to be even wetter and maybe even heavier with those high temperatures around 33 degrees. It will continue all the way into Sunday morning, finally tapering off in the early morning hours. But then it's going to be blustery. It's going to be a lot of snow blowing around and a high of 32 degrees. I will be back with you bright and early on Sunday morning at 8 o'clock with Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. We will tell you everything you need to know about snow totals and what to expect and what's going on because we are expecting to really get clobbered in the next 24 hours. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Libby Collins. Vincent Eric will be back Monday morning, and coming up right after the news with Liz, it's Steve Scafidi in Point Taken right here on WTMJ.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market, how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents, and sponsored by the original knowledge broker, R&R Insurance. Joining me today, Jeff Salasinski, Executive Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, the market seems to be favoring buyers right now, and you've mentioned that many businesses renew their insurance policies in Q4, and